Hey everyone, and welcome to the Let Me Tell You Something podcast. My name's Christian.
And I'm Jordan.
And, Jordan, let me tell you something.
Okay.
So, I know you have a lot to say about a particular topic we're going to get into pretty soon here, and when we get to that, you're just going to go.
That's right. So the majority of this is just going to be my hate on a particular game that just came out a few days ago. But there's also very positive things. So I'm a type of guy where like someone says, "All right, you want negative news or positive?" I always go for the negative news because when the positive news comes, then that essentially destroys my negativity towards the negative news, and then I'm all happy, goody two shoes, and but tell me something.
I don't know if you guys can hear it in his voice, by the way, but he is like fuming about the negative thing we're gonna get. So hopefully I can bring us to a happy place for a moment. I know you have not listened to this record, but I want to gush for a minute. So my favorite band, All Time Low, has put out their, I want to say this is their 10th record now, maybe 11th, called Everyone's Talking, and it came out October 17th. I've been listening to it on repeat nonstop because that's what I do whenever one of my favorite artists comes out with a new record. And I like it a lot. It's not my favorite, but I do quite enjoy it. I wanted to briefly go like track by track and kind of like, I guess, review them a little bit here. So again, I know you have not listened to it, but it's okay because I don't really have much to say about the Pokemon stuff. I can just react and you'll kind of react to this. So we're on the same level here. So the first track we actually have it's called Cold Open, and what's interesting is since I want to say Dirty Work in 2011 when they released Dirty Work, they for a few records they would do this like an intro before like the first like real song hits.
Right.
It'd be like a 30-second, minute-long thing, whatever. And that's what Cold Open is, where it's pretty cool. It's about like basically it's setting the tone for the record. It's saying like this is the Cold Open. It's going to be like it's all this like years of trauma wrapped up with magic in a bow, which is alluding to kind of like how taking all these experiences and turning them into a something fun because it's this music. One thing I want to touch on, by the way, and this is so it's funny you're so passionate negatively about the thing we're going to get to, but I'm very negatively passionate about the record, the album artwork. I'm gonna show you this and just explain it for the listening audience. It looks like the guys are like fucking Wiggles, and
the Wiggles.
It really does, and it has these like fridge magnets for everyone's talking. I don't like it. So the artwork I don't like, but I do think that the point of the artwork is to be a juxtaposition, because I would say this is one of their darkest records. The subject matter that it covers and stuff is pretty dark, and also there's only one like uplifting song, which is the closing song. It's my favorite song on the record. We'll get to it, but it's the only time that there's for some people that either are familiar with All Time Low or familiar with pop punk or just this type of music in general. Generally, something that these artists do that I really like is they'll like take a negative situation and they'll kind of like bring you through it and everything, and then they'll like put this like positive spin on the end where they're like, oh, things suck in this situation, but like it's gonna get better because like I'm gonna power through, or like I'm gonna like get help from my friends or whatever, or like it's like a relationship thing where it's like we're struggling here but we love each other, so we're gonna make it through. We're gonna it's like positive, it's a very like uplifting positive, which I love. That like uplifting, like things suck right now but they're gonna get better, like I love that kind of vibe. And only one song on this record like hits that vibe, I would say. Most of them are, I would say, like they're either kind of dour or they're more like a like kind of like a middle finger to like critics and stuff. So here's what I'll get into this as I explain. So like everyone's talking the title track. Basically, it's a huge fuck you to the news outlets and a lot of the people that jumped on the bandwagon of hating the band because there were these allegations that came out which were proven to be false and everything. And I think on the first episode of our original podcast, we also talked about like kind of false allegations and like the danger of those and how like I believe very much in like trust but verify. One thing I'll say about this, and I actually want to do a video soon on this because it also kind of relates to this similar situation that many people are seeing with like Hassan Abi right now, or Hassan Piker, however you want to refer to him, where he basically had this thing where basically people are taking a clip and saying that he like used a shock collar on his dog, which personally, I don't believe that's the case. I understand why people think that in the clip, but I don't believe that personally. And on that note, with everyone's talking, something that Alex says, and I've believed this and have like said this myself for a long time, one of the lyrics in this is saying how you can't prove what hasn't been done. Like you can't prove a negative. And that's something people are talking about now that are kind of like this journalist Taylor Lorenz had talked about this when it came to like not really defending Hassan, but like explaining the situation as it were. Dr. K from Healthy Gamer GG did a great video about kind of the parasocial aspect about all of it, which is one of the things I really want to like make a video on. Is kind of like you don't know us, like you don't know us, you don't know like any like person that you consume entertainment or content from or anything, and people have this very parasocial thing where they think like, oh, this is a really good person or a really bad person. We've seen this in like you and I grew up with it with the hate that people would give Justin Bieber, which was completely undue. It's like this is like a 16-year-old kid and people are like wishing death upon him for what? So like this mentality of like hating celebrities or any kind of like entertainers, anybody that like puts anything out publicly or is public facing in any way that like, oh, it's just like fair game to like hate on them and just believe whatever about them and stuff. And I believe when it comes to things like that, like I do believe that you like I actually this is like one of the first things I talked about I think in one of my like early videos on my own channel, but like you should listen to and believe people that come to you personally about issues that they're having or about like, God forbid, like some kind of, assault or some advantage that somebody took of them or something like that in any way, which does not, people always think about it in like a sexual way. It doesn't have to be sexual, it could be financial, it could be whatever, right? Like you should listen to and support the people that are close to you. But I do think when it comes to the like Twitter, TikTok outrage kind of stuff that people do, I think a lot of that stuff just gets way overblown. And I don't think that it's healthy. I don't think it's conducive to like a healthy like society in general. And I think it's really bad. And I think that, and one of the things that Alex also says in the song "Everyone's Talking," because the whole concept, right? He's saying like in the lyrics, like everyone's talking, but no one's talking to me. No one's getting my side of the story. No one's getting my and really the band's in general, because it was mainly about Jack, the guitarist in the band. But the whole concept is like, people are saying all this shit, but like no one's talking to me. And one of the things he says too is like, which it's a call out to people who are like, he says, I'm clickbait now. I want to find like the actual lyrics. He says like, I'm clickbait now. In a week or two, let me find it. In the second, and fans like on Reddit and stuff are talking about like how hard the second verse goes, right? Where he says, I'm gonna clickbait now, in a week or two, there'll be nothing left but my fucking bones, so I'll play my ribs like a xylophone, and you'll probably still fucking come to the show, yeah, I know. Which is to say, like, you're gonna like talk shit about me and like use like me and the band and like stuff for like, headlines and all this like bullshit, and you're still gonna come to the show. You're gonna be like, oh, these guys are terrible, and then you're still gonna like be a fan. You know what I mean? It's I mean like to go through that, and this is one of the things that Dr. K talked about. Like, imagine he was talking about like with Hassan's situation. Like, imagine that you are innocent in this situation. Like in his case, you didn't shock your dog. In All-Time Low's case, the allegations were false, and people, have these issues like all the time. And well, not all. It's frequent enough. Like, I think it's like 75% or so of like allegations are legit, but like there is a percentage that aren't, and that I think needs to be taken seriously. But you can't, like Dr. K was saying with the Hassan thing, like you can't prove it negative, and that's something that I've very much wanted to like have tried to like explain and advocate for as well. That like you can't prove something that didn't happen. You can only have proof for things that did happen.
Maybe it did happen, maybe it didn't. Who knows?
Exactly. And then past that, the other thing that I want to say is
oh yeah.
Oh, so the doctor. Yeah, go ahead.
I heard there was a lot of people like becoming like full blown detectives, like doing in depth like going on Amazon finding
finding the call. Oh, so you didn't hear about this? Okay, I wasn't sure.
Like dang, I was like, dude, like people are, I mean, well, I mean, it is kind of strange, right? Like his dog gets up and he's like, oh my gosh, whatever the dog's name is, like, oh my gosh, blah blah blah, it's like, stop, get back, and like as the dog is turning, the dog yelps,
right,
and that's it. And I'm like, that is kind of fit. Like it was a yelp,
a
yelp of pain,
yeah.
And people are like, oh well, maybe the dog clipped her nail on something,
dew claw, yeah.
And I'm like, there wasn't anything to clip the nail on, so.
Yeah,
but hey, maybe he did. Like I said, maybe he did.
Right.
Maybe he didn't. Who knows?
So on the detective work, that's kind of what I was going to get into next. So that's something that Dr. K did a really good job explaining with this, which is basically that like our memories, and basically like when the well is poisoned, you are going to remember things differently. You're going to see things differently, like things that might have been innocuous or whatever. Now seem like, oh, that's really damning. A big thing was, again, we're relating this, back to All-Time Low, and everyone's talking. People were doing this whole thing when the allegations were coming out in like 2021, where like, so like and a lot of artists have done this before, but they like people would like throw bras and stuff like on stage, and they'd like put it on their mic stand or whatever. And plenty of artists have done this before. And something that they actually would do was really cool. They would actually they'd have like phone numbers and stuff written on them. But what the guys would do is they actually like collected them and they like donated them. I don't remember where they said they donated them to, but they donated like because they collected so much over the years. They were like fuck, what are we gonna do with these? Like, all right, let's just donate them. And like you can argue like, oh, that's weird, that's kind of creepy, like whatever. But like people, people have been like. Expressing signs of like attraction or gratitude or whatever to artists in like all kind of ways forever. Like I don't think, again, it's a parasocial thing. It's not because this is part of it too. When somebody has fans of something, a lot of times those fans, especially if they're not right in the head, they will think
I don't know why that's so funny. Sorry.
That's specifically just like
psychos, bro.
No, I mean for real. I mean for real. They will think that they like have access to you like as a person, and they will think they like know about you and like all. And this is why I try to like not like I know it would really help me as far as like growth, but I try to not do that like parasocial thing. Not encourage parasocial behavior like. Myself as a content creator, because so like this is something so like I another one of my favorite bands, Water Parks, the lead singer Austin Knight has had stalkers like stalk him and his girlfriend and stuff. Like their most recent single that they put out, which was called Lyrics Were Confidential, which is also a really like good hard-hitting like song. One of the parts about it is he's saying how basically like I can't. I have to treat my girlfriend like a side chick because if I don't, you freaks are gonna like find out who she is and stalk her and find out where she works and all. Because he's had this happen before, so he's like, you people are crazy, and leading into all this, there was also a recent thing that happened. There were two things. There was like this like Twitch streamer who got donated like I don't know, like almost $1 million or something from someone, and they like thought that because they donated that to her, that they had access to her. So they found her, stalked her, and I don't remember if they killed her or if they like beat her or assaulted her. I don't remember what it was, but it was bad. I'm pretty sure they killed her, but it was bad. And similarly, at TwitchCon recently, the streamer, I hope I'm pronouncing this right, Emiru, I want to say it is. This guy came up to her and this was in public. This was around other people. He like went to like fucking like grab her and shit with like other like you have like a meet and greet, you go online, and they like went up and went to like grab her and shit. It's like, what is wrong with you people? Like some people many really do have like, they're not right in the head. They think that like, oh, because I watch you, because I listen to your music, because I whatever, like I have access to, like, no, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Yeah. That's a little creepy, not gonna lie.
Well, and security came in like right away and like pushed her, but it's like, or not pushed her, like pushed him away and stuff.
Right.
I think they arrested him. They at least escorted him out of the building. I'm pretty sure they arrested him. But it's like, what do you do? Like, I guess the question is like, how do you prevent that kind of thing? And I think like, I don't really know. Like, I want to say it's like, I don't know, teach men like from the time that they're boys to like respect women more and stuff, and teach people in general that like you don't have access to somebody. Nobody owes you anything because you're like a fan of them or something. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
I don't know. It's weird. It's like, I don't know. It's really weird how but yeah, that's how a lot of people treat fan bases and I don't know, parasocialities. And that was something that like Dr. K was talking about with all this, was that like, and it's kind of the like thing I want to hit on with my like video about this, which is like, you don't really know the situation. You don't really know what's going on.
Right.
If you're predisposed to like hate Hassan or hate Altemlo or whatever, like, or whoever these people are, like, you are going to see that negativity and be like, well, yeah, of course. Yeah. Of course they're terrible. Or something else he pointed out was like, you got people like these guys, or like, this happened with Drake Bell years ago as well, and I did a whole thing about this too, where my stance on that is basically, and this is my stance with all of this, including the thing with Drake Bell, like, you don't know. None of us know if any of these things that these people were like accused of or whatever actually happened. I think another example is the Johnny Depp Amber Heard thing, and my stance on that is essentially that like, I think they were both very toxic people and they were not good for each other. I saw a lot of that with like my folks growing up. I saw a lot of parallels, and I was like, yeah, these guys aren't good for each other. I think they're like both at fault essentially.
Yeah.
But with that in mind, and people like blew that shit out of proportion too, and turned it into a whole like all women bad or all men bad kind of, and it was crazy. But but the thing that like that even Dr. K was talking about with this was essentially that you don't. Yeah, and this is really like what I want to like touch on. You don't know these people. Like, they could be innocent, they could be guilty, but you don't know. And the fact that we have this like society on the internet, this culture on the internet of people, like you said, doing the investigation and all this stuff and being, oh, he did or he didn't, or like I've seen like trained dog experts come in and be like, yeah, no, I don't think this was a shock thing. Like, this seems like legitimate training and all this stuff. I've seen people be like, oh, you're biased, you're defending, all these different things. I asked my mom about it because she loves dogs and she like groomed dogs and stuff like that. Like all these different things. She was a dog groomer for years and has loved dogs her whole life. She thought it was sus. Hassan himself said that it was sus. So like, but Dr. K's point and my point with all this stuff is that like, you don't know. Like that's my, and same with like Alton Lowe and Drake Bell and like all these, like you don't know. Like, that's the whole thing.
Right.
So moving on, Sucker Punch was the next track, and it was similar, and I remember people when Sucker Punch first came, which was the first like single release. They were already saying that like, oh, this sounds like a fuck you to like the people who turned on them because of the allegations.
Right.
And I remember telling people, like, also seeing people online be like, they wouldn't be that petty. And then they put out Everyone's Talking, which spells it out more. And it's like, yeah, they would. You know, like, and I don't even think it's petty. It's just like, I think it's addressing like a very real thing where it's like, because this is, you know, when your reputation, it takes a lot to build up a good reputation. And it's so easy for that good reputation to be like taken away. And when it's damaged, there are people, like, you could be completely innocent about anything. But there are people who will, like, they hear something about you and they're like, okay, you're, like, a horrible person, you're this, you're that, or whatever. And you will never change their minds. And it's just a really sad fact of life.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Sucker Punch was a really good fucking song. Very, very, very hard-hitting, good lyrics, similar. But now, Oh No was the second track, and Oh No was really good, too. Because, and it's kind of addressing, I'm sure you've heard of the concept of, like, the tortured artist. And there's this kind of debate people have of, like, does an artist have to be a tortured artist in order to, like, make good art, to make good music specifically? And that's what Alex is really getting into with this track, where he's basically saying, like, things are going well for me, like, my life is getting better, all this different stuff. But I'm wondering, because the chorus is, if I'm not broken like I used to be, will you still find me interesting? If I built my brand on feeling sad, do I need my broken heartache back? And I think it's a very good, you know, if I'm not fucked up like I was, if I'm not like going through the kind of things I was, am I no longer relatable? Am I no longer someone who you want to listen to their music, you want to come to my shows, you want to, all these, and I'm like, yeah, I totally get that. I think that there is a level of, and I'm guilty of this, right? If an artist or you know, performer, whatever, is not, or a character in a movie or whatever is not relatable to me, I'm gonna engage with them less.
Right.
They're not gonna be interesting to me. Like, no one wants, like, I think no one wants to like watch like a movie or of someone where like everything just is like perfect, like start to finish.
Yeah.
It's like there's no conflict, there's no rising action, no falling action, there's no. It's like, what are we, like, this is boring. This is just a boring thing, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, so like that's why people love drama so much and like all these different things. And as much as I hate like the will they won't they trope. Oh, we can talk about tropes we hate, because I know you've seen some tropes you hate being repeated in Gen V, which I completely agree. And we still love Gen V, by the way, but there are some tropes that we're seeing where it's not great. The Weather is track 5, and it's also very good. It's really just, you know, it's this thing that, again, I think is very relatable to a lot of us, myself included, where, like, you know, you date someone for a while, you love them, all that, and then you, like, you know, you break up, you go certain ways, and then you, like, you're separate ways, I mean to say, and then you see them again, and you're like, what do we talk about?
Right.
Like we're gonna talk about like bullshit, like it's the weather. You know, you're saying when I see, I don't want to talk about the weather. Like I don't want to talk about this like bullshit. This like make small talk and stuff. Like I don't want to just do this, but like I will.
Right.
You know? And the bridge is even. You don't ask about the band. I won't ask you how you've been, because we know we'd fall back in. And the whole thing is like, if we get too deep with each other, we might start catching feelings again, and like that's not something we want to explore. So it's a very real thing. I feel like, where you're in that moment where you see someone, and it's so, to me, it's always been crazy. I don't think you've ever like run into an ex like this or anything, but it's crazy to think about and like run into someone where like you loved each other at one point, and now you're strangers. You know, now it's like, and that's really what what that's about. And that's really good. And then there's a song called Falling for Strangers, which I do very much like sonically. I haven't heard, like, I don't really understand, I guess. Actually, oh yeah, I'm falling for strangers who look like you. So I think like the whole concept of that is essentially like, again, like, you know, we're done, we're like all these different things, but like, you're basically my type. So now I'm like trying to like fill the hole of you with somebody else. I'm falling for strangers who look like you.
Yeah.
And stuff like that, and which is, I think that's really good too. Yeah, I'd say like nothing, but these people don't compare to you. I keep following people, who look like you, and that one's really good. And then we have, so I did say like this record is like pretty dark in general, but there are some songs that are like kind of like more upbeat, like
uplifting.
I would call them more like love songs almost, or infatuation at least. And one of them is the next track, Viva Las Vegas Nerve. And I looked this up, first of all. Let me find what the Vegas Nerve is again. Which is spelled VEGUS Nerve. The Vegas Nerve, it's like something that's basically connected to like the brain and the heart. And I think the reason for saying like Vegas, like calling for one, it has like a double meaning kind of thing. Mm-hmm. But also I think it's kind of like this idea where like we're so connected, like you're connected to like basically my heart and my head, my brain and my heart, essentially, right? My heart, and that's an in-joke for us. But the song is basically like, he's basically saying like the pre-chorus is nightcaps and nightmares, we dance like we don't care, it's a crutch, it's a crush, it's a crutch, it's a curse that I think this much. And I think in the whole concept, and then like the chorus, baby don't panic, we can just swerve, which by the way, Don't Panic is a reference to one of their records called Don't Panic. There are some references to like other records and stuff too, which is really cool, and other songs and stuff, which we'll get to later. But basically they're saying like, don't worry about like anything else, like let's just like be together, enjoy each other, like basically like, kind of like, let me take away like your pain and like all the like problems you're dealing with, and just like let's just be together and focus on each other. Yeah. And it's basically this, it's like that. Yeah, I quite enjoy that. And then we have the song Sugar, which features an artist by the name of JoJo, not JoJo Siwa, which is who I thought originally. It's this woman named JoJo, which I've never heard of before. But I need to listen to her music now that I've like heard her here. It sounds pretty good. And it's I'd say again it's a nice kind of like love song. It's it's about just like it's just kind of a poppy love song. The chorus is sugar. I don't know how you make it so sweet. The taste of you is all over my teeth. I can brush it off, but it ain't easy. So let me take a minute, spill the tea. It says sugar again. I like the way you're feeling underneath, and everything we need is in the sheets. You make me wanna make you wanna need me. We're going till there's nothing left to eat. So it's just, it's this whole thing like we're giving into like our love and our lust for each other, and like devouring each other kind of thing. Right. And it's just a hot, fun love, pop love song, I'd say. We're like halfway through the record, so there's 15 tracks. But this next one's actually very interesting. It's a very short track. It's called Goodnight C'est La Vie, and I don't know how to describe it other than it's just like a love song about like, okay, so you and I have talked about this before. That it's that concept of like, girl brings home boy, dad strongly disapproves. She's gonna be with him anyway, and in this case, like it talks about how basically that he the end / chorus, if you will, is so daddy shot him in the streets. He died at 17. Good night, c'est la vie. Good night. That's when the American dream died on Easy Street. Good night, c'est la vie. Good night, c'est la vie. And it's kind of that thing. Like we've talked about the whole thing of like not on the podcast, but like just in person. He and I have talked about this. But, the dad. You have like the dad that's like brandishing like his rifle or whatever. Yeah, he's
polishing his gun at the end of the table, and he's like, "So, what are your intentions with my
daughter, boy?" And I think that's so like gross and like overprotective, and I understand where it comes from, but I think I think really what you need, like what we like as society need to do in that to, for one, like I don't think intimidating like the boyfriend or whatever or date or whatever is like good, but I do think that for one, yes, we need to obviously like guys in general should respect women's bodies and women in general. So it's like obviously like if things escalate further than she wants,
that's where you got to instill the fear.
So that's what I, yeah, but that's, I think that instead of the fear, you should just teach kids from a young age to respect each other in that capacity. And when guys start dating, respect women, teach them to be like, like you gotta respect her, and at the same time, I think that, I mean, especially fathers need to be accepting of the fact that, look, when your little girl starts dating, if she is in a relationship with a guy and they are, they're safe and they're consenting to this and everything, then like you gotta let her grow up. Like you gotta let her. You need to prepare them. Like both parties should have like they should know about like STD risks, STDs, STIs. They should know about pregnancy risks, and they should be prepared for those things. But I think for one, like both boys and girls should be, and non-binary, whatever, anybody should be like sat down by their parents when they're given the talk. One of the things they should be taught is like how to have safe sex. And of course, we know like statistically and stuff that the idea of like no sex is safe sex. Like abstinence does not work. So, you wanna like have them be able to like understand how to ask and give consent, and you want to have them be able to understand how to like be safe about everything and all that stuff. And I think that is just a much healthier way to handle the situation than the like, because this is weird, like this kind of gets into another thing, but like a lot of like fathers, especially with daughters, will basically a girl's, and I do mean girl with this, a girl's like virginity and purity is like seen as like because obviously it ultimately goes back to purity culture, where like the idea is essentially like her purity and virginity, just like gross even saying it, belongs to her dad in a way. And the idea is essentially like, this is why like the dad gives the daughter away at the wedding and stuff. It's like, well, here, like you belong to me, a man. Now you're belonging to another man, and it's like that's like
it's not necessarily that.
Okay,
growing up,
okay,
the only man the daughter has known to take care of her, raise her, teach her right is the father.
Yes.
So essentially. Like when the father's walking his daughter down the aisle, getting married.
Sure.
Essentially, what he's doing, what he's telling the man that she's getting married to, her future husband, like, hey, listen, buddy, I've looked out for her. I've loved her with all my heart. I've done all these things to make sure she's had a good and safe life. Now I'm quote unquote giving my daughter to you. Sorry, I had to swallow. I'm giving my daughter to you so that you can make sure she's safe, take care of her, make sure she has a happy life. Now it's your job.
I think that would be fine if the mother did it with the son as well. I think because I agree with what you're saying, and I agree that that's more or less what it's become. But I mean, there was a time, like in ancient times, where like if a man like raped another man's daughter, it was a crime against him because he was essentially defiling her property, or his property, I'm sorry. That's why, like, women and children, you have to understand, women and children for the longest time have been seen as property, essentially. Which is why, like, you had the thing where, like, now you have to marry her, or now you have to, like, pay me and or marry her, things like that. I think I think it's become this more sweet, nice kind of like what you're saying. I agree that is how people view it, and that's how like someone like you would view it, and that's how people these days would view it more in general. But I think that if it was intended to be that from the jump, there would be a tradition as well of the mother doing that same thing with the son of like, look, I cared for him, whatever, now I'm giving him to you, kind of thing, to take care of him. But also, I don't, even then, like, a lot of people seem to, like, want and kind of fetishize this idea of, like, their partner, especially guys do this with women, their wife being, like, a mother to them. Like, I think we talked about this before, but, like, these guys are like, oh, I want her to cook, clean, like, you want her to be, like, be your mother that you also fuck. Like, it's the weirdest thing to me. But
if she can cook and clean,
yeah,
like, that's fine, like, cool. Like, you're doing a basic human adult thing.
Yeah, I mean, I think those
bonuses, but I could cook myself.
Yeah, and I think those kind of things are like bonuses, but I don't think they should be like, I guess, expected in a relationship. And some guys are
no, there are a pretty big group of guys that are like that. Like, yeah. Oh, she needs to cook for me. She needs to clean for me. She needs to. And it's like,
it's like you want a mother.
Yeah, that's yeah.
It's the weirdest. It's the weirdest shit to me. But I understand what you're saying with like how the giving away kind of thing like could be like sweet and nice and everything. I just feel like if it is, and it can definitely be that. But I think that, and I think for most people like yourself, it is or will be, what have you. But I think that if we really want it to become that, then the mother should like give away the son as well. But I'm also just not opposed to the idea of the bride just walking down the aisle without the fault, and like not having the like giving away kind of thing. Because I feel like if anything, and it even goes to like the whole like ask the dad's permission to like marry her. It's like I can understand asking both parents like, what do you think about this? Do you approve? Because like yes, there is a level of when you marry the person you marry into the family as well, obviously. But I think the specific like going to the father, like the father basically again kind of like owns the daughter until another man takes her. I just think that's very gross. Like I think there is a sanitized, nice way to view it, but I think that the origins of that tradition are just inherently like I think they're inherently sexist, and they're they ultimately come from like patriarchal standings and stuff like this, and I think that it ultimately comes from the idea that women and children, but women are property, and
good thing we're not back in those times.
100%.
No, but so with that, it's just, and people view it different ways, but I view it as respect. Like I'm not just gonna like marry your daughter. Like I'm gonna come to you. I'm gonna like, hey, listen, that's not what I would say.
See,
but I'll be like, listen, Mister, or if they want to be called their first name, whatever. Okay. I'll be like, hey, listen, I've been thinking about this. Yeah. Marrying your daughter, proposing to her, yada yada. Or like girlfriend, whatever.
Right.
May I be her girlfriend? Can I?
That's even worse to me. But go on.
Well, it's just like asking is just respect.
I don't think it's their business. I think that's how I would say it.
Would you go? Let's see.
Like let me put it this way. I think so. For one, I think part of my issue with it is the double standard. Because you don't have the tradition of like the woman gets engaged and then she's like, oh, let me talk to his friends. Let me talk to his family. See how they feel about it. Like, does that happen? Yes. But is that expected? Is that part of the process? Or is it like a, hey, I'm asking you to marry. And then she's like, okay, let me ask your parents. Like, I want to say yes. Let me ask your parents before you give me the ring. Like something where it's just more equal. And you have this more like just the idea of the you know, I don't know, just because it makes the, I don't know, I just, it sets up this dynamic in which the woman is just so passive, and like things like she is not, it's almost like she's not an active participant in her own like relationship at this point. It's like, because to me it's like I totally understand, okay, you're dating for a while, hey, I want you to meet my parents, great, makes perfect sense. But especially this idea of like, I mean, if I was with a girl and she was like, oh, I need you to like, make sure it's okay with my parents if we date first, I'd be like, I'm sorry, are we not both adults? Like, what are you talking about? You need, like, what do you know? Like, do you want to date? Do you want to be like an official couple? Like, okay, then let's do it. If not, then we don't. Like, I'm not asking your like parents for, like, no, you're like, I understand when they're living with their parents and you're in high school or middle school or whatever. But if you're like, be adults. Like, if you're an adult, be an adult. 100% take your significant other to meet your parents and stuff after you're dating. But that's the other thing. It's like, why would you, like, I don't think I'd want to like introduce like you guys, and I don't think you would want to introduce like us to, as in like our friend group, like a girl that you're dating, or I would a girl that I'm dating, until I know like that we're tight, that we're like exclusive, and we're gonna like, okay, now let me start becoming a part of your life and your family. Not, oh, let me see what my friends and family think before we start, like that. I don't know. That's just, it's like, we're adults, we make our own decisions. Like, we're not, like, I don't know. That's just it's very infantilizing, I feel like, is what it comes down to. And there's a lot of infantilization that people do with women specifically, and I think that's just that's an example of it. But I'm sorry though, you were gonna say something before.
No, I don't think it was.
Okay, I thought you were gonna. Do you Okay, because this is another like big one I have. And again, I understand it, especially from like a religious standpoint and stuff. But like even when I was like a believer, if you will, I always thought like the father-daughter like dances. Like, okay, I think the dance and stuff is fine, but I think the like purity ring, pledging my virginity to you, essentially, that's fucking gross. Like, I don't.
Some people like that.
Okay.
You can't generalize it into. You can't generalize everyone into this. Some people do that. Some people don't.
I mean,
it's just like the whole thing. Like, oh, all these people are terrible. It's like, no. A good majority of these people are terrible, but the others aren't.
A good majority. I don't know. I think it's gross and possessive, and it's, it's like controlling thing. It's like, you're my property again until I give you to another man, because you're always going to be some man's property. Okay, you're not my property anymore. Now I'm giving you to this other man, and like, I don't know. There's a lot of, it's not. I don't like it. But. Yeah, it's not good. It's not good. I don't like it. But moving on, the song "Bubblegum" is the 10th track, and basically it's kind of similar to "Sugar," where it's basically saying like, look, the world's fucked up and like all these different things, but like I want to be your bubblegum. I want to be like the light spot in your life, the person that like makes you feel good, and like. It's kind of like almost the reverse of Sugar, where it's like, no. It's the reverse of Viva Las Vegas Nerve, where it's like Viva Las Vegas Nerve is about like her kind of like taking away like that, like, I want to be your bright spot, like take away your anxiety and like stress and all this stuff, and let's just be together. And Bubblegum is kind of similar from the other way around, the other way around, if you will. And there's all these lines like the it's a very good song. And then we have Little Bit, which Little Bit could have been, I think, a Green Day song. Like, it just has a very similar vibe, but it's it has a more of a harder sounding, like, almost edgier sound, if you will. More distortion on the guitars and stuff, I'd say, louder guitars. Um, but as far as what the song's about, it's about just like chasing thrills. It's basically saying like I always want a little bit more of the thrill. I'm always chasing like the next thing that's like gonna be fun, gonna be like whatever, all these different things, right? I said there's lines like I've been chasing thrills since a little kid, or I've been chasing. What is it? I've been chasing cars for the thrill of it. I've been chasing the high for the thrill of it. I've been chasing insatiable since I was a little kid. Don't know why, but I always want a little bit more. And then the post chorus, which I think is more of a bridge, but I guess it's a post chorus, has a really good line, which is where they say they like you better when you're fucked up having fun. If I burn out, oh well, at least I touched the sun. And maybe someday we'll answer to someone, but right now I just want a little bit more. And I like that a lot, where it's this idea of like, there are a lot of people that you might hang out with in life and stuff who, they don't really care that much about you as a person, but they want you to be this like kind of like fun party, like whatever. They like you when you're like that, and then, but they don't really care about you like otherwise.
Yeah.
And then like even if you're like fucked up or whatever, well, at least you're a good time. At least you're And I think that that's something that like alcoholics and stuff like struggle with. And then if I burn up, at least I touch the sun. I think that's a really good line, because it's like, or if I burn out, which is like if I like, kind of do so much and like can't like take well, at least I had a good time. At least I got to experience this. And so I think I think that's a like fun one as well. And then even maybe somebody will answer to someone, which is like, maybe like, at the end of the song, at the end of life and everything, like, we will have someone to answer to, like we will have, God or some other deity or, whatever you believe in. But right now, I just want to have fun. I just want a little bit more. I just want to, and I think that's fun. So, it's a fun, like, and then we have Cigarettes and Sabotage, which is, I'm trying to. Yeah. I think this is just kind of like an open heart song of like, hey, it's okay that you're going through this or whatever. Like, these different kind of things. Where like the because it starts by saying like it's okay to have a crisis. Oh no, actually crisis. Like it's okay to have a crisis. You were overdue a crisis. And basically like, hey, like it's okay for things to like be bad every now and then, for things to like get fucked up and like for you to break down and like whatever. Like it's okay to be in this. I don't know if you ever heard of the song, but there was a song. I want to say it was called Exhale by like Plum or someone on like, it played on the Joy FM years ago, where she said like it's okay to not be okay, and I was like that's a good fucking line. And then it goes into like the way you'll break my fall and all the weights you promised me you'll save me. I don't think it's possible lately. I'm the writing on the wall. There goes my heart on my sleeve, falling for diamonds in deadly ties. Just no deadly ties. I'm not sure if that's like a fucked up lyric or what, but just no cigarettes and sabotage. And when I say fucked up, I mean like I think that like that might be like an incorrect lyric. But basically the whole thing is basically like I don't know, like you're going through shit, I'm going through shit, but like let's go through it together, basically. It's kind of how I interpret it. So yeah. And then we get to Tread Water, and I don't think I've actually listened to this one very much. Oh, wait. Oh, I think... Let's see. Oh, yeah, I mean, this is just kind of like more of a sad love song where it's like, I'd say it's more of a breakup song. Because the whole thing is like, how long can we tread water? How long can we stay afloat? Like, how long can we like manage this before we have to just accept that like we gotta let go? You know, like it even says you want to swim, you gotta learn to let go. Because if you hold me any longer, we'll sink like a stone. Which is like, if we stay together, we're just like, this is gonna end badly. Like we've reached a point in the relationship where we understand. We just gotta let go. Like, this is not healthy anymore. Like, we just gotta. And I think that's very. And I talked in a couple episodes ago, I think, about how like I played through like the first. Well, I watched playthroughs, whatever, of the first 2 Silent Hill games recently, and I've been seeing like analysis of the second one, and I don't actually. We might not talk about this on the pod. We might have just talked about this like on our own. For those that aren't familiar with Silent Hill 2, spoilers, but I don't know, game came out in 2001.
Yeah, you should have played it already, so there's no excuse.
Deal with it. I mean, like, I don't know, we're going to talk spoiler, whatever. You find out at the end that, like, the character you're playing as killed his wife because she was suffering from terminal illness, and basically, she essentially... Like, she took out her illness and everything on him and other people around her, but primarily him, for 3 years until he couldn't take it anymore. And he just, like, he tried to, like, be a good husband, and he stayed faithful to her, which is why, like, a lot of the enemies in the game are, like, manifestations of, like, his, like, sexual repression and stuff like that. And, I've seen analyses of this story and of the character of James, where they're basically like, oh, he's a terrible person. Like, you find out at the end of the game that the person you're playing as was horrible, whatever. And I think if you come away from the game and the character of James with this mentality that like he was the villain, or that Mary was the villain, or Maria, which is like this construct that the town makes for him, which is a whole thing, you completely missed the point. Because the whole point is that James is not a villain. Mary's not a villain. These are people who loved each other, who were in this relationship that unfortunately got to a point through no fault of either of their own that it was not healthy anymore. And I think very much, like, you can understand James's perspective. I don't think that killing her was the right thing to do. He smothered her with a pillow in her sleep, but I don't think that was the right thing to do. But I do think just walking away and leaving her would have been, like, it wouldn't make sense. Yeah. Because it's like, and I also think you could have potentially told a better, well, a more, not interesting, but a more, could have been more of a surprise that she was still alive, because she could have actually been alive. If it was the case that, like, he left her and he thought she just rotted away, but in actuality her illness went into, like, remission or whatever. And I want to be clear about this, like, as I say this, and I'm thinking of, like, actually, on a side note, I'm thinking about relaunching Rambling Reviews, and continuing that or whatever, and, like, talking about things like this as well. I don't know how, that's something we can, like, talk about it a little bit. Anyway, my point is, there is a huge issue of, especially, like, women getting very sick. Cancer's a big one. And the husband divorces her. That is a huge issue that happens, right? There is an issue of a partner, and I think you and I have talked about this before, of a partner, like, getting sick and the other partner just leaving, just abandoning them. Mm-hmm. And I think that's really fucked up, and I think you could agree with that too.
No.
But I also think, if you're in, first of all, it's horrific to see someone you love, like, wither away into, like, nothing. But also, if somebody changes so drastically that, like, you're trying to love them, you're trying to support them, and they're pushing you away, and they're, like, because, like, the whole thing is, yes, she was bedridden and stuff in Silent Hill 2, but Mary became a monster. You know, she was extremely, like, verbally abusive, mm-hmm. and all these different things. I'm like, yeah, she was bedridden and, like, this wasn't her fault, but, like, the way she reacted to it and the way that she and look, I've never been terminally ill. I've never had to take care of anybody who's terminally ill, but I understand the perspective of if you are trying to take care of someone and they are like they've turned into a monster, or in any type of relationship, the idea that like, oh well, you need to stay with them because otherwise like you didn't love them or you failed the relationship or whatever, that is a mentality that I have had in previous relationships, which has made me stuck in those relationships, and I should have let go a long time ago, and I could have like moved on and like found someone better and found someone that was like more suited to me and stuff. But,
right.
And I think that the mentality of like, well, if you don't stick it out or whatever, like you're a bad person or you failed the relationship or you're weak or whatever, I think that mentality leads to just misery and more heartbreak and people staying in relationships that they shouldn't stay in. And I'm sorry, but like if someone is, could be your friend, your parent, your lover, whatever, even if they are bedridden, terminally ill, whatever, if they are going to be like abusive and stuff, whatever, and like you're going to try to like be there for them and stuff, and they're going to like yell at you and be like, go away, I'm a monster, I'm sick, I'm disgusting, da da da, while you're trying to like take care of them and stuff, I'm sorry, you can only take so much before you're like, all right, like you can rot for all I care. Like it's up to the medical people who are at least getting paid to deal with your abuse. I'm getting nothing. I'm trying my best, like, because you have this scene at the end of the game where James, like, it plays out one of the last interactions that must live rent-free in James's mind, where Mary is telling him, like, oh, like, what, you brought me flowers? I don't want flowers. And you're like, just go away, like, I'm this, and then he leaves, and she's like, wait, no, like, come back, and that constant, like, back and forth is so vitriolic and so, it's not healthy. So if you're in a situation where, like, no matter how much you might want to stick it out, sometimes, you just gotta let go, or again, bring it back to the all-time low record. If you hold me any longer, we'll sink like a stone. Moving on to that, we have two more songs. Moving on with that, we have the song Different Languages. And I think this is a really beautiful one that I think you could probably speak on a lot as well, because what it's essentially talking about is the concept of like love languages, where we're speaking different languages, where like we're having these issues, where like we're not understanding each other, all these different things. But then it goes into this beautiful fucking chorus where it just says, it wasn't obvious, no writing on the wall. It wasn't buying flowers or the wait up late night calls. It ain't about a ring or having 20 kids. Love's what you choose to forgive. And I fucking love that, because that is so beautiful. This idea that, like, look, in any relationship, you're gonna have moments, friendships, lovers, business partners, whatever. You're gonna have family. You're gonna have moments where, like, someone does something shitty. Mm-hmm. And now, depending on the level of that shittiness, you might not be able to forgive it. Might not be able to, like, let the past be the past. Like, I think in most cases, like, cheating is pretty unforgivable, for example. I think that, like, a friend or business partner or whatever that, like, stole a bunch of money from you, that's pretty fucked up. That's pretty unforgivable. Mm-hmm. Or, like, I'll give you one. Like, none of us in our family, but, like, say, like, one of us, or, like, we had another friend or whatever who, like, if I had a friend who, like, was drunk driving all the time and they, like, crashed, like, and, like, I don't know, I became, like, disabled because I was, like, with them, or, because of their drunk driving or something, I'd be like, no, I'm not, you're dead to me. Like, I'm not forgiving you for this. Like, right. There are some things that you just cannot, like, forgive and forget, and, but I love this idea that, like, you're going to have moments where things are rough, and yet finding that love, finding that, choosing to forgive, that's where the real love comes from. I think that's so beautiful. What do you think of that concept?
I like it.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Okay. You didn't have as much to say as I thought you would.
No.
That's okay. That's okay. But then we get to the last track, which is my favorite track on the record. It was also their third single, which is also Sugar. I talked about it earlier. That was released as a single as well. Doesn't have a music video yet. But Butterflies. This is such a beautiful fucking song. Because, and again, we'll just, like, get into the fucking, well, we'll do the pre-chorus first, where, basically, you have this thing where basically, like, you're in this, like, fucked up situation, like, whatever, kind of thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
But essentially, it's the message is, like, stop, like, ruminating on this. Stop, like, mulling over this and, like, worrying about all this, which is something that I do a lot with, things like how my life is and how I want it to be, and I think, like, oh, well, if I did this, like, 5-10 years ago, it'd be different, like, all these different things. But we have the pre-chorus. It's how you cope, but now you're choking while you're praying for some discount Jesus Christ to come save you from yourself, which is this idea of, like, you're going through all this, and now you're sitting here, like, just broken down and, like, hoping someone will, like, pull you out of this. But then we get into the chorus, which is, so what's the point of holding on when letting go is the only way you're changing? Stop waiting for the grass to grow. You're catching butterflies that aren't worth chasing. Or ain't worth chasing. And I really like that message because it's essentially saying, like, stop. What's the point of holding on to this if it's not serving you? What's the point of, like, whatever this thing is? Again, could be a relationship, could be a career path, could be beliefs that you have, could be anything that are not serving you anymore. What is the point of doing that when letting go is the only way you're going to change, the only way you're going to, like, make any progress in life, the only way you're going to get better? And then, so, like, stop it. You're chasing these things, these butterflies, these that you're catching them. Like, you're getting some things here and there, but it's not worth it. It's not making you happy. It's not furthering, like, what you want out of life. Like, it's not. And I just really love that message. I think the song goes fucking hard. Like, it's a great fucking hard sounding rock song. It's a great fucking song. It goes pretty hard live. I haven't seen it, like, live, but I've seen it, like, recordings of it live on, like, YouTube and stuff. It's a good fucking song. Have
you ever been to an all-time live concert?
Yes, I have. And I was
very nice.
gonna go this year as well. They have one here in Florida, a little bit closer to me in November. But I don't know if I can afford it right now. It's just really what it comes down to. Like, I was gonna go, but I'm like, I don't know if I can afford this, so I'm not gonna. I don't think I'm gonna go.
How much is a ticket?
I think it's only like $60 to $100 or so. Like, I'm mulling it over. Bad. Like, I don't know, but, like, I'm also, as you know, I'm like trying to get my license for this, like, job I'm trying right now, and that's like $300 total for the whole thing. Which I found out I think I told you, I'm not actually guaranteed any of it back. Actually, what they said was basically, like, if I stick with the company and I'm, like, promoted or whatever, then I could get it back. But if I don't go through with it and I don't stay with the company or whatever, then I'm not gonna get it back. So it's not.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. So I'm going through, like, the behind the scenes, guys. I'm going through, like, the course to see if I want to do this, and
Nice.
But so I might just still shell it, because I would like to see them live again. But and last time I went in the summer and it was not a good time. But this time it'd be November, so it'd be nicer. But I don't know. So I'm running out of time to make that decision. I don't think they're sold out yet, but we'll see. I'm debating. Okay. But anyway,
nice.
Where was I going with all this? And I know they're playing, like, some of my favorite songs live too. So I'm like, and they didn't play my favorite song last time I went live. So I was like, oh shit, like, I probably should go to this. But whatever. But where was I? But anyway, so the record in general, very good. Quite enjoyed it. I think I liked the content of this record overall better than the last record, which was called Tell Me I'm Alive. But I liked as a full piece, as a record. Like, I think I like the songs more individually from this record, but as a full record experience, I liked the last record better, personally. Okay. As far as, like, if I have a favorite, I don't know. Well, no, that is my favorite, like, as a full record experience. Tell Me I'm Alive is my favorite. But like my favorite song is Something's Gotta Give. But I also really like, which is off of Future Hearts, released in 2015. But I also really like, I also really like that The Sound of Letting Go, which is from Tell Me I'm Alive. And the songs that I really gravitate toward are songs that are similar to Butterflies, where it's like, hey, there's this fucked up situation, but like it's gonna get better. You're gonna power through. We're gonna like, something's gotta give. The whole thing is like, I'm dying to live. Something's gotta give. Like I'm sick of this thing. And there's a song Weightless, which is similar too, where it's basically like maybe it's not my weekend, but it's gonna be my year. It's just like things aren't good now, but they're gonna be. Like I'm gonna.
Right.
And I think there's a level of delusion with that where it's like, are they really going to be better? But I think the point is for them to be like these inspirational, uplifting things, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
1 out of 10, what would you give this album?
I hate giving things numbers like that. But I would say,
if you could.
No, I guess I'd say like a. I don't know. You go I'd say like an 8.5.
Okay.
Because I'm thinking between 8, 9, maybe 9. Like I'll go with an 8.5. I think maybe 8.7 because I'm leaning between like 8.5 and 9. So we'll go with 8.7. I think it's pretty good.
Nice.
I think that'd be interesting to like go through and like rank. Like I rank all of like All Time Low's albums, and you rank all of your favorite artists' albums, and we kind of break them down and explain why. That might be a fun thing to do.
Mm-hmm.
But who is is it Andy Mineo? Is that your favorite artist, or do you have someone else?
He is my favorite artist.
Okay. So probably
when it comes to rap and hip hop.
Sure.
But other than him, I would have to say one of my favorite artists is so.
I don't know why I thought you were about to say Sabrina Carpenter.
So like with me, it's weird. I don't really have a favorite artist. I
Could you maybe not in any specific order, but can you do like just rattle off like a few that you really like?
Well, I've always been a major fan of Maroon 5.
Okay.
This
I like She Will Be Loved a lot.
Yep. It's good. It's good.
I like Animals. I like a few different ones of theirs.
Yeah. This is off of this or not on this podcast, but I showed you that song, the Sudoku.
Oh, Sequo or whatever his name was.
Yeah, Sequoia. It's called Catching Bodies.
Yeah.
Really good song.
Very like R&B.
Yeah.
Kind of like Boyz II Men kind of thing almost.
And another song that's been trending a lot is Man I Need by Olivia Dean. Fantastic song.
Yeah.
What'd you think of that song?
It was fine. I didn't love it. I don't know. It's not. I was almost expecting, I guess, something like Kehlani or like who's that girl? Coco something. I gotta find.
I have no idea.
I think I've showed you her music before. I think
Coco
Jones.
Jones.
Yeah, this girl. Or like that Tanesha girl.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Coco, like, or maybe like a Tyla vibe almost. Like
gotcha.
I don't know. I didn't really vibe with it that much.
Gotcha.
It was fine. It's not really something I feel like I ever need to listen to again. But if it came on, I'd be like, okay, like, it is what it is. Like, I wouldn't hate it if I heard it in like a movie or someone was like playing it on like the radio or like if you were driving and like it came on, like whatever. Yeah, it's fine.
But yeah, so those people
heard bodies.
Catching Bodies.
Yeah.
That was a good song. K-pop Demon Hunters, that's a good band too.
Okay, when you do you mean Twice or Cat's Eye?
Both of them.
Okay, I mean they're great too, but yeah, Twice is really good. Yes, K-pop Demon Hunters was such a great. We should have been fucking doing this podcast. We could still do an episode about it.
Damn.
We could still we could do an episode about it.
So yeah, we can, but a little side piece.
Okay.
For the longest time, which it's cool for like some like like adapting like an animated movie into a live action movie. They have been pushing for the longest time K-pop Demon Hunters to be a live action.
It just came out. What do you mean for the longest time?
Well, like ever since it came out.
Sure. Okay.
You know what I mean.
I know.
Anyways, yeah. So ever since it came out, they've been like, oh yeah, we're gonna do live action, yada yada yada, which is like, okay, cool, I guess. No.
I mean, I'm down. I'm down with it. I know.
Well, like with that, you know, like the animations.
I do.
Live action ain't gonna be able to do that.
I agree. No. I agree. I always say I very much like. I've always preferred animated DC to live action. I don't really care for live action DC that much. I don't really care for live action superhero stuff that much in general because I think you can do so much more in animation than you ever could in live action. The problem is that Western, like here in the West, we in general have this mentality that animated stuff is for kids, which is crazy because there's a good amount of like adult animated stuff. But then if it is adult, it has to be a comedy like Family Guy, and it's like no, like there can be like there's some really dark like anime and like other like animated things that are like I don't know, there's But yeah, so they're like, oh, we're gonna do a live action K-pop movie. I don't know, recently they said that idea is scrapped. We're not doing, which I'm like, yes. And they also scrapped this too, which I'm glad. Even though it's one of my and so I would like a series. I'd like a flip episodic. That'd be dope.
Yeah.
Or a comic. Cool. I don't know if there's a or a video game. A real game, not one of those stupid fucking mobile.
Oh yeah,
stand around games.
But another live action that they were thinking of doing, but again, like I said, they scrapped it, and I'm glad they scrapped it because this is one. And so a long time ago, I was not a fan of anime at all. I had the mentality of like, anime is for
nerds.
Like nerds, and it's for bumps on the.
Meanwhile, let me love my superheroes and MCU stuff. Right?
Well, so like, and that was because I never watched any anime before until a good friend of mine. He's like, bro, what wasn't Naruto? I think it was. Well, that's one of them. But the first anime that I truly watched was Sword Art Online.
That was the first one?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
And I loved it. I was like, wow, this is amazing.
I think it was either the first one or the first big isekai.
And so after watching that, I was like, okay, let's see what else is out there. And I slowly but surely started getting anime, and I'm not like a huge anime guy. Like, I'm not like a super fan, but I'll watch an anime here and there. And one of the animes you said it just a couple minutes ago is My Hero Academia. And that's one of the things that's one of the other things that they said. They're like, hey, we're gonna make this into a live action movie. And like I said, they scrapped it. And I was like, thank you. Because like this stuff, in my opinion, doesn't need to be.
So I don't know if you know this, but a lot of anime actually does get live action versions in Japan. I've never watched them. I don't care about them. But they exist. Like, there's a lot of live action. Like, okay, for example, everyone knows about like the Netflix Death Note, but there's a Japanese live action Death Note as well.
Right.
There are. Oh yeah, I've noticed a lot of, like, not something like Dragon Ball Z or Naruto, but most of these. Also, by the way, you say that, but like people really like the live action One Piece. So I mean, that's
I watched a few episodes of it. I
I haven't watched it. I've only watched it.
Yeah. I mean, it's whatever.
Yeah.
Like again, there's some things in anime they can't replicate in real life. In a few of the episodes that I watched for the live action One Piece, and I've seen a few episodes of the anime, there were some scenes from the anime that they tried to implement into live action.
Yeah.
It looked
not good.
So cringy, dude.
Oh, okay.
I was like, okay,
Yeah,
this is bad. I was like, I'm not a fan of this at all.
Yeah, I'll definitely have to check it out at some point. But what I will say with that is, I didn't like anime for the longest time because I was very interested in things like Dragon Ball Z, Naruto, One Piece. Not really One Piece back then, but like when I was a kid. But my problem was it took forever for anything to happen.
I understand that.
I cannot stand how slow anime is. And especially as a kid, like watching it on TV, like it was just agonizing. There is an episode of Dragon Ball Z where Goku and Cell this is during like the Cell Arena arc. Where Goku and Cell are fighting. And they throw like one punch at each other. And then the rest of it is just
talking.
It's like Vegeta and Piccolo and a few others just talking. And it's like, oh my god. Shut up. Like it's just like
yeah. No, I
get to the point.
I totally get that. Like, there are some animes that I've seen where it took like 3 episodes for like a big climax happen. I'm like, finally.
Well, and that happened with like My Hero Academia too, with some of the battles and stuff.
A little bit.
But I do think MHA was much better paced, which was the thing that I was like, oh my god, a good paced anime. Like I never thought I'd see the day. But so like I know about the lore of like Dragon Ball Z and Naruto because of the video games, but I could not be arsed to sit through the anime like ever.
Right.
It's a little bit different, like being able to like watch it like online or something where you can like skip through stuff and speed stuff up.
Right.
But it's so
agonizing. Now and I've seen so like growing up. I was still am, but when I was little, I was a huge fan of Pokémon.
Okay.
The anime. And then my brother, I was kind of a fan of Yu-Gi-Oh! But my brother, on the other hand, was a massive fan of Yu-Gi-Oh! Man, Digimon can... Gosh.
But
don't even get me started.
Digimon are the champions.
No, they're not. No.
Digimon.
No, they may think they're the champions, but they're not. No. So growing up, I was a huge fan of Pokemon
and Yu-Gi-Oh!
Games and the anime. And then Yu-Gi-Oh! I had my amazing dual disc. Me and my brother would.
Okay. Wasn't that from Yu-Gi-Oh! GX?
No.
Oh no. Was that always a Yu-Gi-Oh! thing? Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So like the dual disc was like.
I know it's the thing you put on your wrist.
Yeah, but
which was meant for the audience. Yeah.
Like the introduction of it. I think was like the second season of Yu-Gi-Oh. Like the OG Yu-Gi-Oh.
I know there's like a Yu-Gi-Oh! Abridged series that's apparently pretty funny.
Yeah.
That's another. Sorry, just real quick on this. That's another thing. Dragon Ball Z Kai was released on Nicktoons back in like 2008. And that was supposed to be like a shorter, more condensed version of the original Dragon Ball Z. That was still too drawn out for me. So I was like, if I can't handle this, I will never...
Picky.
Well, it's the same reason I don't read books.
Right.
It takes so long for anything to happen. Like, I will always remember this book I was reading where this person like was running away from someone and they like fell in a field. And it went on for like 3 pages about how the grass felt and the smells around him and the breeze. And I'm like, shut up! Get to the fucking point. Like, I don't know. I don't have the attention span for that shit. Actually, it's one of the things I think that I like about comics as well, which is like, comics are paced however you want them to be. However long you take to view the image and read the text and all, like, it...
Right.
If you want it to like really quick, it's really quick.
Right.
If you want it to take its time, it'll take its time. Whatever you want. If you want to, you linger on an image, on a shot, on whatever, as long as you want. You don't have this thing where like an anime where it'll like take 5 minutes to show how badly hurt someone is from like a...
Right.
And I know this is like specifically a shonen thing. Like this isn't like all anime, but I just
yeah, so
anyway.
So for like the Dragon Ball arcs, I think the only one you would like is the Tournament of Power arc. Because that...
Is that from Dragon Ball Super?
Yeah.
I didn't watch Dragon Ball Super.
So that is like the perfect balance of badass fighting scenes and talking. Like there's no like it takes 30 minutes for the talking to happen. But yeah. So Dragon Ball Super, the Tournament of Power arc, I think that honestly would be the only one you would tolerate because it has a really good balance between talking, and fighting. And like I said, it well, not like I said, but it is pedal to the metal, dude.
Okay.
Like there's maybe one or two scenes where it's like people are standing around, but it just hurtles you back into the combat. It's honestly probably one of my favorite arcs.
It doesn't even have to be combat heavy. So this is something they do in anime all the time, which is very annoying to me. You will have something that was in the last episode or something, and they'll do a flashback to it, and they'll play the whole scene again. I'm like, we just fucking saw this. This was 2 minutes ago. Holy shit!
Well, that's if you're streaming and all that stuff. But
yes, and I understand that there's a level of this was designed so that any episode you can get caught up on real quick. I totally understand that. But when you are watching it all, or you're just watching a few episodes, I just caught these on TV back to back or whatever sometimes, like Toonami or something. But I'm just come on, man. I
understand.
Let's fucking move on. Everything I know and the reason I know about the lore and stuff of Dragon Ball Z and Naruto is because of the video games. Specifically Dragon Ball Z Budokai Tenkaichi 3 and Dragon Ball Z Burst Limit. I think those were the main ones that I played. And then for Naruto there were Broken Bond it was called, which was only for the Xbox, which I didn't actually play, just watch other people play because I didn't have an Xbox. Maybe someday I'll play it.
I have an Xbox through them.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. And then there was Naruto Shippuden and Naruto Shippuden Ultimate Ninja Storm. No, sorry. Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm and Naruto Shippuden Ultimate Ninja Storm 2.
Yeah, I never played the video games of Naruto, Dragon Ball Z.
They're fun. I quite like. They have a bit of a learning curve. But I really like. I don't know how to describe. So I know you don't like 2D Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat style fighters.
Not my thing.
Right, and I totally get. I don't like them either because they're too complicated. Dragon Ball Z, especially the Budokai games, you basically have a main attack button. You have a dash button. You have a button to shoot your energy beams, the keys. And then you have buttons that you can combine to do special moves. I remember I always played on the GameCube controller. So Z and Y and Z was how you charged as well, which didn't take nearly as long as it did in the show. But Z and Y were to do a Kamehameha or whatever equivalent that would be for someone else, Galakan with Vegeta, so on and so forth. Or I should say do a Kamehameha with. By the way, did you know Kamehameha or Kamehameha is actually a real thing? There's a school. My last job, we actually used to work with this company called the Kamehameha schools or Kamehameha schools, whatever it was. And I was oh, I know Kamehameha. I was looking at it with some of my friends when we first started working with that client. I was guys, no shot. They're called Kamehameha. And people who didn't know Dragon Ball Z are oh, I don't get it. You don't get it. So you're okay. But anyway, but there are things where when you're fully charged, Z up and Y, I'm just gonna use Goku as an example, will be a charge attack where you fly into the enemy and if you hit them, you basically enter this cutscene where you're like beating on them and like they can't get out of it or anything. And then like Z down and B, when you're fully charged, like Goku will do like the Spirit Bomb or some other like major powerful thing. And then when I don't remember how, at certain points, I don't remember what you have to do to trigger this off the top of my head, but you can like, I think you press down on the D-pad and you can like change into like Super Saiyan 1, 2, 3, so on and so, and then you have a whole new set of moves in that Super Saiyan form.
Right.
And I actually really like that combat style. I think that's really cool. I think, if I remember correctly, the Ninja Storm games did something similar. But I really like that combat style, and I think if you just like played against me in like one of those games, you would hate it because you would like get your ass kicked. But I think if you played it on your own and you learned how it went, I think you also again you get your ass kicked because it's a bit of a learning curve. But I think eventually you'd be like, oh, I get it, like I understand, because you can chain things together. Like you can do a few like normal attacks as Goku. Again, I'm just using Goku as an example. You can like if you press A a few times, they'll do a few like punches and kicks, and then if you like hold the Y button in the middle of that, you'll do like A, and then like hold Y. You'll like punch their gut, and you can do stuff, and then you can like press Y again, and you like kick and like just different things. It's a very like the combat style is very intricate. But it's very, it feels like you're playing the show.
Right.
But it's incredible. I can't really explain it much. But I highly recommend playing these games if you haven't, because they're really fucking good. But that's like how I like got into Dragon Ball Z. Right. I guess I'd say.
Right.
And they have a huge, like, basically everyone from the show who had ever been in the show at the time is in the roster. And, like, it's great. And, like, this is really fucking good.
Right.
Speaking of anime and things related to it, I believe you have a topic that you are very passionate about. Would you like to discuss that?
Pokemon Legends ZA, gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages. It sucks. I don't like Pokemon Legends ZA.
Really?
I really don't.
Oh.
No, it is. I forgot what like YouTube content creator said it, but she essentially said that it is a major disappointment and a major waste of money. Yeah. Yeah, a lot of people don't like it. Again, they like all things, there are some people that love it and some people that hate it. The vast majority, though, they don't like it. But again, some other people like it. But so before it came out, when it was announced.
Oof. Okay, so I'm just going through. I was trying to see if I could find that girl you were talking about to give credit.
Gotcha.
But so I found the beat 'em ups one that I was telling you about before, where it's Pokemon Windows ZA review. But I'll tell you what, I'm seeing things too where like this one Ziostorm says Pokemon Legends ZA is terrible. Don't buy it.
Yeah.
Pokemon Legends ZA. Oh, Donkey did a video on it. I'll have to check out. And actually, funnily enough. Retro Rebound did as well. He said he's a bit disappointing. Okay. Actually, a guy that I quite like who actually makes content similar to myself as well, like social and political stuff too, he did a video on this. Pokemon Legends ZA is a horrible game that I love. Interesting. This is Saros TV, but the thumbnail says this feels empty. So I'm not interested. And then why everyone hates I don't know. Sorry, you keep going with what you're saying. I just wanted to.
Yeah. So when it was announced, so little context, ever since I was a wee lad, I played all of the mainline Pokemon games on the Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance, SP, the Nintendo DS, 3DS, all this, and they were fun.
Was it Commonwealth Realm?
Huh?
Was it Commonwealth Realm?
I have no idea.
Okay.
Maybe,
you wouldn't remember her name?
No.
Okay, go on.
But yeah, so I played all of the major mainline games. Generation 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yada yada yada, so on and so forth. My first Pokemon game that I played was on my Game Boy
Color?
SP.
Okay. Oh, Advance.
Yep. And it was Pokemon Fire Red version, the remake of Pokemon Red version.
Mm-hmm.
And that was fun. And I enjoyed playing Pokemon ever since. I wasn't one of those like major super fans. But I enjoyed them nonetheless.
Right.
Oh man, I remember even having like the trading cord where, back in the day, right, for those of you who are, too young, but back in the day, either the Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance SP, you had to have a like a certain type of like a cable link to where you could plug one end into like your Game Boy Advance, and you can plug the other end into the other person's Game Boy Advance, and you guys could trade Pokemon, and you guys can fight each other, and so that was always fun. Most of the Pokemon, well, not most, but a few of the Pokemon had like different ways of evolving, and the majority of it was through trading, which again you needed the trading cord to do so. But as time goes on, and as the game systems develop more, you don't need to do it. You can just do it online, which is super simple. But so they're doing all this, and when they announced Pokemon Legends Arceus or Arceus, however you want to say it, I was excited because that was like the first open world game, but it was like it was more like an experiment, right? Like, let's see if we could make the open world aspect like true, and let's see what the audience thinks of it. Well, when Pokemon Legends Arceus came out, it shot off into like people were like, oh my gosh, this is so fun, like the first legitimate open world game, blah blah, this, that, and the other.
Are you talking about the original Legends that was set in like feudal Japan or something?
Yeah. It was set in feudal Japan, and my son, Cyndaquil, was one of the stars. I copped him. But yeah, so Pokemon Legends Arceus, when that came out, it was fun. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Being a massive fan of the mainline games, I was like, this side game, or this spin-off game, as it's called, it's pretty fun. And that's honestly, I thought, okay, that's the end of these like spin-off games. Cool. Now we're gonna get back to the main games. Well, we did with whatever mainline game was next.
Legends of Arceus and the other one.
Not Sword and Shield. Scarlet and Violet. That was the true open world game. Like, that was like the open world aspect in Legends Arceus was so popular and everyone loved it that it honestly gave them the green card to say, okay, now let's put this into like a mainline Pokemon game. And so they did, and it was fabulous. You could go anywhere you wanted to. You could you could go to any gym in any order you want to. And what was really cool about it is in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, you essentially had 3 games in one. You could go off on 3 journeys. Question.
I have a question.
Yes.
I'm doing research while you talk about this.
Right.
I'm watching a little bit of reviews and gameplay and stuff, seeing if I can get a feel so I can join in on this properly. But I'm curious, because I didn't know how bad this was until he literally got here today and he's like, he's like ranting about it. All right, let's just fucking do the podcast now. Like, holy shit.
Yeah.
Fuck, what was I gonna say?
I don't know.
The first Legends game, was it real-time combat?
Yes.
Okay, because to me, I fucking hate turn-based combat. The fact that it has real-time combat already is a major improvement from anything else.
Right.
So like I'm watching this right now and like the character, like the players running around like while the Pokemon are fighting and like, it's like you're really there and you're like commanding them in real time and stuff. Like I appreciate that. So the fact that it has that alone is a major plus.
Right. But yeah, so in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, you again, like I said, you essentially have 3 games in one. In those games, you could go on one of 3, and you could go off. You can go on all 3, but you get to choose which one to do first. One of them was the classic gym challenge, where you could go across the whole region and challenge the gym leaders and get a badge. For all you Pokemon fans out there, y'all know what I mean. Y'all know what I'm talking about. And so that was that. That was the OG kind of journey that you would take. And then the second kind of game within the game was, I forgot what it was called, but essentially you would go around the region battling these camps with like the evil team in them, and you would battle one of the team's like leaders. And I think there was 7 leaders of the evil team that you could challenge. So you could do that, and then the third kind of game within the game is again, I forgot the name. I should probably go back and check it out. But essentially you have to find, and it correlates with the story. So you have to find this magical herb to save. Not to go all dark on a Pokemon game, but essentially you need to find this herb to cure a Pokemon that's dying. These herbs were protected by these giant Pokemon called Titans. And you'd have to battle them out or whatever. And if when you defeat them, you get the herb, this, that, and the other. So it was like the first true open world game. So fun. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I give it a 9.9 out of 10. But then again, we get back to this Pokemon Legends ZA. They announced it. It was like, oh sweet, another like open world Pokemon game. Sweet. And Legends Arceus was set, like you said, in feudal Japan. And this one is set in modern times.
And it's a city, so that gives points for me.
Yeah, a city. Woo. Yeah, no,
okay.
It is in a city.
Like I said, I'm like researching this a little bit while you're talking. I'm seeing the gameplay, and like I'm sorry, so far I'm like the fact that this is like in a city and it has real time combat and stuff. Like I thought I was gonna like Arceus until I played it, and then I was like, no, I don't like this. Or no, Scarlet.
Right.
And I was like, well, this might actually be a Pokemon game I actually like. Let me try it out. Didn't care. I would want to actually do my proper research with this one before buying this.
Yeah.
But I think it might be one Pokemon game so far I actually like.
No.
Maybe the one in feudal Japan as well. I cannot stress how much I don't like real turn-based combat.
Well, so my thing with Legends ZA is like it's cool, whatever, but like you're just in a city. Like, where's the exploration? Like that's the kind of game I like. I like exploring, dude. Like that. That's why I'm a big fan of the mainline games, because you get to explore the whole region.
Okay, so this is interesting. Okay, so this is now I've experienced this kind of thing before, where basically this happens a lot in like big franchises and stuff, where they have this shakeup, and people that loved the thing for what it was don't like this new thing. But then people like myself who didn't love the thing before now appreciate, now like it for this thing that the fans don't like. Does that make sense? So like you like it, I don't like exploration. Well, okay, let me be clear. I don't like I don't like having to find I hate getting lost. I don't like having to find my own way. If you have like a wave marker or something telling me where to go, and I can explore if I want to, that's fine. But I don't like exploration being mandatory. I want a wave marker. I want you to tell me where do I go to continue the story, to get to the fucking point, because that's why I'm here. I don't care about the side quests. I don't care about any of that other shit. If I want to do that stuff on my own because I want to, fine. But do not make me do that stuff. That's what I hate. That's why I can't play like Legend of Zelda games, for example, because if there was a fucking wave marker, and I think in like the new one there is, but if there was a wave marker telling you where to go, fine, that's great. But if you tell me you have to figure out where to go on your own, I don't like that. I don't care if it's more realistic.
Oh, there's a bunch of wave markers in Legend of Zelda. Especially in Twilight Princess.
No, there aren't.
Love that game. Yeah, there is.
Waypoints telling you where to go for the next... Yeah. No, there aren't.
Okay.
I played Twilight. I used it. I used it. Maybe when we talk about waypoints, we're talking about different things. Let me talk about what I mean.
You want someone to lead you.
I want my handheld. Yeah. What I want is like, okay.
So like what I'm talking about is right. I press the pause menu, and then so I press the pause menu, right, and where it's like gear, like inventory, blah 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 blah, and it has like destination, and it says go to the bar in Castle Hyrule. It's like okay, let me go to Castle Hyrule. And let me find the spot.
I think what I've found is that I think I don't like open world games. What I like are sandbox games. So like Spider-Man's a great example. You know how like you can go around the city and do your own thing, but there's also this thing on the map telling you, hey, this is the next story objective. That's what I want. What I'm talking about when I say like you don't know what to do, the first Legend of Zelda, or sorry, we'll use Twilight Princess for an example. When you start the game, like you're pretty much going through like a few like mandatory missions,
right?
But then you get into like the village, and nobody tells you. Well, okay, let me be clear. There's not like a wave marker that tells you here's the next thing you need to go to, and then here's the next thing you need to go. Here's the next. No, you have to find out. And in my case, I had to have a guide. You have to find out. Okay. I have to like go here to get this slingshot, to knock down this thing, and get this fish for this cat to do this, and it's so annoying.
I remember that. Yeah,
I hate that shit. I'm like, give me a wave marker. Give me like if I had something that told me like, okay, go and talk to this. Like it had you go and you talk to this person, and then they give you your quest. You complete that quest, and now you have the next thing. But not only do you have to like figure out what to do in the quest, you have to figure out what quest to even do. I hate that shit. I'm like, just tell me what to fucking do. If you want to give me the ability to do other things and do side quests, that's great. But please, like, give me an option to skip past the bullshit and just get to the meat of the game, which is what... And again, I think in like Breath of the Wild and stuff, there are wave markers of like, here's the next like dungeon or whatever you can go to. But I just hate this, like, I don't know, I like a sandbox, which seems to be what this is, where you're in a more of a confined area, but you have, again, like, I haven't really noticed that there's wave markers in this. I'm watching a video game Donkeys review right now, stuff like that. But I'm okay with the more confined space where I can't get lost, and where it tells you like, okay, go here, do this, do that, and then if I want to, I can explore and I can do these different things. But I don't like when exploration, I guess, is mandatory. Like, I want my handheld. Like people complained like about certain things. Like, I remember people said like not Ocarina of Time, Twilight Princess, for example, or like a few games after, like, oh, this holds your hand too much, this is too streamlined. No, the fuck it isn't. No, the fuck it isn't. It's not streamlined enough. If you think this is too streamlined, I'd hate to see what my version of a Zelda game would be. And by the way, all that I'd want is just a fucking, like, a wave marker in, like, Spider-Man or Grand Theft Auto or something telling you this is your next objective. Right. That's it. That's it. Same with, like, Pokémon or anything else that's, like, whatever. Like, I don't understand. whatever it is about me and my psychology or whatever, I don't have in me whatever other people do where they enjoy exploring and like I just don't have that. I want the option. Like if you want me to explore and like I used to like love going out of bounds and like Sonic Adventure 2 and stuff like that. But like if you want me to like to me exploration should be a fun thing that you have the option to do and get extra rewards for. Exploration should never be something you have to do. If you want, you should be able to go point A to point B, and that's it. Like, that's how I view it, I would say. But anyway, that's my rant.
Back to my topic. I'm just kidding.
Continue your rant.
No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, I'm not a big fan. I mean, Spider-Man.
We love the Spider-Man games.
That was fun. That was fun. But I originally am not a fan of sandbox games because it's like, oh, I'm confined to this one space. Like, ooh, okay, I have a few challenges to do, and that's it. It's like, oh, okay. Now let me start the game over again. But
that's where you get things like New Game Plus and stuff.
Yeah.
I guess another example I could give is like the Batman Arkham games and stuff. Like there's tons of games that do the kind of thing that I'm talking about. That I enjoy. I just don't. But I'll tell you what though, you know what? I'll wait till you get to the nitpick part. We'll continue with the big things first.
Yeah, and like I've always done, ever since I was a wee lad, I've done my research on like whatever the game is whatever the game is and what it's promoting and like what Pokemon I want on my team. And actually, a big thing I'm pretty sure is correct that they did with this game is that they hyped it up too much. Game Freak hyped up this game way too much to where
don't they just hype up every Pokemon game though?
No. This one was like, and they even said themselves in like a post on like whatever
Twitter
that like this game is like 10 steps better than Pokemon Legends Arceus. Like this was going to be like the Legends game.
I mean, from what I'm seeing, it looks like it kind of is.
I mean, no, it's not. it's not. Yeah, I watched like a gameplay game through. I was not impressed at all. Yeah, and that's strange coming from me because I'm a Pokemon fan.
I tried watching a Let's Play of Legends Arceus from one of my favorite Let's Play groups, Brain Scratch Comms. So like if Brain Scratch, Hellfire Comms, or Super Gaming Bros do something about any of these games, I might be inclined to watch and see how it is. But I watched like 3 parts of Legends of Arceus, and it just didn't hold my attention. Like it didn't. And I don't know if watching them play Legends ZA would. I imagine they'll probably get to it at some point, but like one of them or all 3 of them or what have you. But yeah, I don't know. I so far I'm looking at this and I feel like I would be more engaged visually with this world, simply because of the fact that it's in a city. I think that's a big thing for me. Is that
I feel like that's the only reason because it's in a city and you're a big city guy.
I am a big city guy, but it's just more aesthetically pleasing to me.
And then that goes to show just our different dynamics and like you want to live in a city.
I do.
A big walkable city.
I do.
And that's fantastic. But me, bro,
you want to live out in the country,
bro. Put me like near like a river in the mountains, dude. Oh, brother.
That's fine. Just don't complain about the fact that there's like nothing around for miles. Because
that's why I have a car and I can drive.
Sure, yes, like an hour out of the way. You would have to do like if you did grocery trips, for example. You would have to do like or like even like Amazon deliveries and stuff. Like they're not going to get out to you
right
like frequently.
Well, so when I was in college up at the Adirondack Mountains in New York, literally our Walmart, the nearest place of civilization was like 40 minutes away, and it had a Walmart, it had restaurants, it had stores, and Walmart, it had a movie, it was full of people, right? But we had this thing where once a month, there was like 4 or 5. There was a big group of us that like, okay, it's time to make a Walmart run. Does everyone know what they're getting? Because
get your grocery for the entire month.
Exactly, because when we get everything, make sure you have what you want and or need, or both.
You'd all need like 5 of those handle things I have.
Yeah, and it's like before we drive away, does everyone have what they need or want? Yes, because if you get back to campus, oh, you forgot milk. I mean, sure, you could like ask to borrow some milk from like your friends or whatever, but like if you yourself like didn't get your milk, you can drive back and get it, or if you want to, or you can wait for the next Walmart run, next month or whatever. But yeah, and so so my thing with this is Game Freak hyped this game up way too much, like to a point to where like it made me included. It made all of us like, oh my gosh, this is going to be like the Legends game. Like any other Legends game that comes after this, it's going to be just mid, or it's just going to be stupid compared to Pokemon Legends ZA.
You don't know that. It might... Oh, you mean like they were saying this is going to be the best?
Yeah.
That's some marketing bullshit companies always do, though. I hate that shit.
But,
it's like... This is like a small, like, kind of pet peeve thing of mine. But I hate when people say, like... Watch Mojo does this all the time. Top 10 movies or whatever of all time. It's a very semantic, pedantic thing that I have. But whenever anyone says anything of all time, I'm sorry... Time hasn't ended yet, so you don't know if it's of all time. You can say yet, like, this is going to be the best Pokemon game yet.
Right.
Could be. Is it going to be the best ever of all time? You don't know. Have they stopped? Is this the last one? No? Okay, then there might still be games. I don't know. I know that's such a pedantic, like, picky thing, but I just hate when people say of all time, because it's like, no, it's not all time. Like,
And then another thing with this, with Pokemon Legends ZA, is that they didn't show like much of anything. Like we got like 2 or 3 trailers of Pokemon Legends ZA. Like one of them had so with Legends Arceus, they gave us a lot of like announcement videos and like, oh, these are the Pokemon that's going to be introduced. Like they gave us a bunch of stuff to go off on to be like, okay, like, yes, I'm going to get it, or no, I'm not going to get it. With ZA, they really didn't do that. They put out maybe 2, 3 like announcement videos of like, oh, this is like the storyline, and this is what Pokemon's going to be introduced. And then, again, like I said, they just did like 2 or 3 like reveal videos, and then they brought it out. Whereas Pokemon Legends Arceus, like in like I think a span of 1 or 2 years, they put out so much. They put out so much content about the game that if you pieced everything that was put out, you already had the game. Like you already knew what would happen, what the characters were, Pokemon, locations in the game, all that kind of stuff. So 2 things that Nintendo did was they hyped up Legends ZA way too much, to a point to where to the audience they were saying, "Hey, this is going to be the game of all Pokemon. Like this is going to be the game." And they didn't. They put out very, very, very little like reveal trailers, announcement trailers, and then they just put the game out. And not to mention, so Right, you have the starters in this game, right? Pokemon Legends ZA. You have Totodile, Tepig, and Chikorita, which, not my favorites, but, they're, it is what it is. And then, you have all these different things. And, their evolutions and whatnot. And just to see them in action was just fantastic. To see them walk around with you was great. But yeah, oh god, dude, buddy, I could go into such a tangent about all the hate on Legends ZA for like weeks and weeks. But like I said before in the beginning, I like to hear the bad news first and then the good news. So my thoughts on Legends ZA was not a fan. And I stood by what I said, before getting it. I was like, I'm really debating whether or not I should get it or should not get it. Me personally, I made a good choice into not buying it. One last hate. So the starters, you could get the Kalos region starters in there. I can't believe I totally forgot the names, but to get their Mega Evolutions, and they never had Mega Evolutions before this game, but to get their Mega Evolutions, you had to. It was a requirement in order to get the Mega Evolutions to buy the Nintendo Online bundle, which is like an extra $40 alongside $70 for the actual game itself, and you had to pay a subscription to Nintendo Online in order to get these Mega Evolutions. And if you try to cancel your subscription, guess what? You wouldn't get the Mega Evolutions anymore.
Yeah, that's bullshit.
So that's
that's some really scummy business practices.
When I played Pokemon X and Y,
yeah,
my starter was Froakie, and he evolved into Greninja. Which is the most baddest Pokemon in the whole entire Dex up until this point. He is such a cool design. His Mega Evolution is dope as hell. It's just so awesome. But yeah, like I said, in order to get any of the Mega Evolutions of the 3 starters, you have to. It's not, if you don't want it, that's fine, but if you want that Mega Evolutions, you have to subscribe and buy and all these other extra things to get it. But if you quit your subscription, that Mega Evolution goes away.
Alright, so this is the part that's really fucking gross about that.
So when I found that, I was like, are you kidding me?
Yeah,
and literally every other Pokemon fan, they're like,
yeah,
this is unacceptable.
So first of all, that's an extremely scummy business practice. But also,
so scummy.
What's even worse about that is, and this is the like we talked about this briefly before we started recording, but like these companies do, like the developers, the designers, like all that, they care about the art of the product, but the companies that are selling it and the distributor Nintendo does not give a fuck about the art or the preservation of the art or anything else. They don't care if you can play the game.
They don't care.
Like 20 years from now.
Yeah.
All they just want your money. That's all they care about.
Is that dollar bill, boy?
Because they're a company, you know, and they're incentivized, as we all are in capitalism. They're incentivized by just profit growth. That's it. That's all they give a fuck about.
Right.
So they don't care, because you look at it and because I said, okay, not only is that really shitty that you have to have an account active the entire time, but it also means when they eventually stop running the servers for that account and they launch whatever the new Nintendo thing is, you will no longer have access to that thing.
Right.
Which is bullshit. But the thing is, like, as a consumer, you care about that. As a company, they don't give a fuck. No. Because they just want your money. No. And they have your money.
No.
People will argue and say, like, I saw this great thing the other day, and I very much agree that, like, piracy is not about, like, when something is new and it's pirated, yes, it's about, like, making it accessible for people that can't or don't want to pay to consume that product. But past a point, 10, 15, 20 years, sometimes even 5, whatever, it is about preservation of that product. And these companies don't. That's why companies like Nintendo will go after, like, emulation companies and websites and stuff, which is bullshit, because it's like, okay, but you're not releasing the new, like, I don't know, Chrono Trigger or whatever on some. And if you are, it's like, you know, or people have to pay like an arm and a leg for an official version, you know,
right.
Stuff like that. So it's like,
right.
It's horrible. You know, piracy does not. I don't believe that, like, piracy exists because people just want to, like, steal. I think it exists because there are not better ways to consume these products. Because here's the thing: Netflix, for example, there are, like, shows and stuff from Netflix that are, like, pirated and stuff. But generally speaking, the experience that you get watching something through Netflix is better, at least until it's ripped, than the pirated experience. If you want people to, like, use the legitimate experience as opposed to the pirated experience, make a better product.
Right.
That's it. Like, you can't shovel dog shit and then be mad that people are gonna, like, get your dog shit for free rather than pay for it. You know, that they don't want to pay, you know, like, from what I've heard, the new Mario Kart is really good. And there was actually this great video that Scott the Woz did about, like, game prices and stuff in general that I've been thinking of going over on my channel. But, you know, there's a bit of, like, overreaction people have with prices of things like this. But the reality is, at the end of the day, these companies, how much is something worth? However much these companies, however much people are willing to pay.
Yeah.
That is, like, when people say the value of this, like, no, the value is whatever people are willing to pay. Because these companies will milk you for all they can. Now, the good thing when it comes to, like,
squeeze out that money, boy.
Right. Now, the good thing when it comes to, like, video games and stuff like that, like, these are elastic goods. So these are things that, like, it's not the end of the world. It's not going to, like, fuck up your life or whatever if you can't afford the new Nintendo product or the new, you know, Pokémon or whatever. You know, this issue really gets bad when you look at things like healthcare and, like, other insurance, like, in stuff in general, because these are things that you actually need to survive.
Right.
These are inelastic goods. So it's like, how much is someone going to pay? Like, if you think it's bad, and it is, it's really scummy for this kind of stuff, but if you think it's bad for things like that, it is so much worse when someone is, like, not able to, like, pay for their healthcare. I have a friend who has, I gotta find out what the disease is called. She was just diagnosed with, let me find it here. Oh, it's called lymphangitis, which is, like, basically making it she can, like, barely walk. She will have to take these, like, this medication for the rest of her life. It's like $600. That is insane. That is why people talk about things like medical debt and stuff. And if you have, like, a bad medical experience, or like people say, like, we're all just one day away, one bad medical experience away from, like, having our life ruined. And it's true. Like, you will be in financial destitution and stuff. So, like, you know, you look at things. I'm going off on a whole other thing here, but, like, you look at things, and, you know, this is why, like, everybody was pretty much, like, you know, not exactly too sympathetic of that Brian, what's his face, that was allegedly killed by Luigi Mangione. Because they're like, well, yeah, like, you're evil, fucking, like, we don't care, you're an evil company. And it's like, I mean, I get it. Like, yeah, insurance is a racket. Insurance is something, like, we shouldn't need, you know, there needs to be at least a public option. I mean, I'm all for, like, free universal healthcare. Of course, I'm also for, like, you know, free housing and stuff too, but, you know, I have a whole thing with, like, my, like, economic policy and stuff, what I think, like, how the world should be. But, you know, my point is, you know, it's really bad and scummy and stuff when this stuff happens with a fun piece of entertainment like Pokemon, but when it happens to, like, things you actually need in life, it's so much worse.
Right.
But anyway, continue.
Anyway. But yeah, so that is, like, again, the bottom line. Pokemon Legends EA.
Oh, I just want to say real quick, I'm sorry. I saw this thing, someone was talking about it the other day, where they were like, oh, you start from Z, and then you go to, you go to Y, then you go to X, Z, or whatever the reverse alphabet is, and I'm like, yeah, you go Z to A. Like, you could have just said that. You didn't have to, like, draw it out.
Well, so what this person means is, because this is one of the clips I saw, like the first person you fight at night, you are supposed to win. So let's say you win, and you go from Z to like you skip.
Don't do it.
15 letters,
Okay.
and it's like, okay, I just skipped 15 letters. Like, what is this? I'm supposed to go letter by letter, battle by battle. It's like you getting something in the game, and like your level goes from like level 10 to like level 54, and it's like, what? Okay, that was kind of pointless, but yeah. That makes the game even more like, okay, so I defeat one person and I get bumped up to like 15 spots. Like isn't the game supposed to go from one letter to the next? Like, yeah, it's crazy. But yeah. So bottom line for Pokemon Legends EA, I made a good decision personally for myself. Didn't buy it. It looks cool. The new battle mechanic is fun.
You're talking about this new Pokemon thing they're doing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, where you run around with Pokemon.
Wait,
what?
Aren't you going to talk about like the windows and like voice acting and stuff?
Oh yeah, God, those are little minor things, but like the windows are just like, they look like paintings. Like there's just like it's not an actual window.
Right.
It's literally like, someone got a pen and drew a image of a window on the wall.
Yeah.
And the voice acting, it's I don't know. It's like come on, we've, as society and game wise, we've evolved. Like we've evolved to a point where like, okay, like we should be able to like put voice acting in all these games, and Pokemon Legends, Zelda, all these other franchises, Metroid, whatever. But still, there's no. And I'm just speaking for Pokemon. There's still no voice acting for like the characters in Pokemon. So
yeah.
But yeah. So that is enough slander on the greatest that is Pokemon.
Well, I wanted to like touch on that a little bit. Like, first of all, the window thing. Like, I think that things like the windows and stuff like that, like, that is very nitpicky. I think, a lot of these other issues you're talking about, like, I get it, like that, yeah, it's pretty fucking bad. And I'm, like I said, I'm, like, watching some reviews, like, while we're talking about this, to get more of an understanding of everything here. I will say one of the things I saw was there seems to be not pop-in of characters, but fade-in. Like, you'll walk.
That's another thing too, man. You're in a bustling metropolis.
Yeah.
Oh, there's two people running down this empty street in front of me.
Like, I get
what
that.
is this?
Yeah,
like, it's like it's a bustling. It's a bustling metropolis. There should be like in excess. It's like it should be like New York City.
Agreed.
There should be so many people.
I mean, it's supposed to be like Paris.
Well, still, like an abundance of people is what I mean.
No, I
like
agree.
There's a child walking with his Pikachu.
Yeah.
Oh. Like 3 blocks later, I see 2 more people.
It reminds
it's
me.
Like, come on, Game Freak.
It reminds me of the cities in Sonic Adventure and Sonic 06, where it's like just very few here and there. Like, you're in this big city, but there's a very few here and there. And it is kind of like, okay, like
I kind of feel like it's lazy.
Well, yeah, I think
it's like, come on, game.
Yeah,
like,
I do.
Come on,
I get that. I do think the window thing is like, very nitpicky because like you don't really notice windows that much. And I think about it of like it was fine on like the PS2 with like Spider-Man 2 and stuff like that. So I think it's fine. Now you can argue of like, well, we should be further along by now. Like, okay, I guess, but I don't know. I think Windows. Like, yes, it would be nice if they did look like Windows and they had, even if they just like had little like drawings of like someone in them, so it looked like there was something in them. Like, it would be nice, but it wouldn't be like a deal breaker. It wouldn't be like, oh, I'm not getting this game because of the Windows. Like, that would be ridiculous.
Well, so the thing with that is, like, in Legends ZA, you have done it with like the mainline games. You could go into like a Pokemon Center and like go into a house and that's it. You know, back when it's like sprites and whatnot.
Yeah.
But like this game is heavily like you're in a city.
Well,
like you're going to be going in and out. So and the weird thing is
you can't go in the buildings. From what I'm,
you can.
Oh, that's okay.
No. So like you can go into the buildings, like some tasks are like in the buildings, whatever. And so like you can go in the buildings, and when you're inside, like everything looks how it's supposed to be. The windows look like windows, like you got furniture and all that kind of stuff. But like it's like, wow, okay, so I can go outside and I can look in this window. You go outside, you try to look, you're staring at a wall. It's like, okay, why, Game Freak? Why would you make the inside of a room that has windows look like it has legitimate windows, but then you go back outside and you look at the building and it's just flat? It's like, why that doesn't? But like you said, it's just nitpicky stuff.
I mean, to me, it just, so like, I'm a huge Sonic fan, and to me, I want to say something on the city thing real quick too. So I do love cities, even in like the Sonic games, city levels tend to be my favorite levels, but in Sonic Generations, just about every level in that game is a city level, and that was annoying because it was too much city. Like, I like there to be like one, maybe two city levels, but like, we don't need every fucking level to be a city level.
Right.
Especially when that game was supposed to be a celebration of the franchise, and there was so many other things you could have pulled from. I think each level should have been a different vibe, and unfortunately, that's not how it was. But in general, yes, I do love city levels.
Right.
Excuse me, cities like in general. But what I want to say about that is, to me, this feels like the same kind of nitpicking people do with Sonic, where they're like, "Oh, his quills are too short," or "Oh, they gave him green eyes instead of." Instead of black, well, that was back when the whole like classic versus modern thing was happening. But regardless, like just these little nitpicky things, where I'm just like, does it would I prefer it to be a different way? Yes, but does it ruin the whole thing? No. Like I feel like when people get into like the nitpicks, it's like, okay, like you're just finding stuff to like complain about now. But like a lot of the big stuff you're talking about, I totally get that.
Yeah. And the real funny thing is, in Legends Arceus, in like your hub, like your village that you're in,
yeah,
there's actual windows, like with like balconies. Like there's like legitimate windows.
But they're not glass windows, right?
Well, they're like open,
right? So
like with the doors are open.
Right.
And there are some mirrors.
Yeah, but like back then they didn't have like glass. Like glass windows weren't like a prevalent thing back then. This is like ATLA time, right?
No.
Oh. When does it take place?
Oh, I don't know. I would have to.
I thought you said it was feudal Japan.
Yeah, it is.
So it's before. Just like what, 1600 something, maybe 1800 something like that. Yeah. I don't remember when feudal Japan was.
But yeah. So, anyways, that's like again, like I said for the third time, like I said before. Not gonna play it. Not gonna get it. It looks fun. It's I'm not really a big fan of these spin-off games. They're fun, but I prefer to play the mainline. But yeah, for those of you who like to play it, kudos to you and enjoy yourselves.
So feudal Japan was from 1185 to 1603.
1603.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's enough slander on the beautiful name of Pokemon. But what I really want to get into is these rumors.
The who?
These rumors.
Oh, rumors.
Rumors. And I know we're probably stretching for time, so I'll just
please. I think people would be happy if we went like even 3 hours or so. They'd be like, "Oh, good, more of them. We get to listen to more." So,
so we don't know a lot to so I don't know a lot to make like a super in-depth talking point about this.
Okay.
So just the little rumors. Generation 10.
Okay.
Which it has been officially known. This is the only official news that's out. Generation 10. The two games are going to be Pokemon Winds and Waves.
Okay.
Those are the official titles.
Okay. So Sky and... Wait a minute. You mean like what they just did with Scarlet and Violet? Sky and Water? Isn't that what they did with Scarlet and Violet?
I don't think so.
Wasn't the red Scarlet Sky? You flew on a thing, and the other thing was like a bike that you rode, which could also go in water or something.
Well, I mean, they both could fly.
Oh,
so they both could go on water and fly.
Okay.
It was just with one of them, they actually swam, whereas on the bike you just drove on the water. So they both could go on the water and fly in the sky.
Okay, fair dues.
But yeah, so Generation 10 is officially named Pokemon Winds and Waves. So far the rumors that we have are Generation 10 called Pokemon Winds and Waves. Generation 11, which is going to be released in 2030. Another Legends game, which another little small depiction on what it is that it's going to be set
turn-based again.
Huh?
I just looked it up, and one of the first things that comes up is Pokemon Wind and Waves will be turn-based.
No.
From Instant Gaming News, Pokemon Wind and Waves.
No, that is not a credible.
It's not?
No, it's not. No, it's not.
It says turn-based battles will make a comeback, which means that real-time battles of Pokemon ZA will not be returning in addition in the future. I mean, they probably don't actually know, though. It could very well be.
But
anyway, go ahead.
So, don't know this leaker's actual name, but he's just known as Riddler, and he is, I would say, and a lot of other Pokemon fans would say, he is the number one leaker of all of these games, and a lot of the games that he's leaked in the past for the Sun and Moon games and all these things, they've come true. So for Pokemon Legends ZA, there's this Riddler Coup guy. He put out a list of all of the Mega Evolution Pokemon that all the Pokemon that were getting new Mega Evolutions, and he made a list, and he drew out what they would look like. Fam, every single one that he drew and he depicted came true. So, take that what you will. But Riddler Q is a very, very reliable source. And this is actually coming from him. Generation 10 Pokemon Winds and Waves. And turn-based is going to be no longer a thing going forward. So Generation 10 Pokemon Winds and Waves. And Generation 11, which is, like I said, going to come out in 2030. Another Legends game, which... small rumor around that is it's going to be set 2,000 years into the past. So another ancient vibe type of game. Gonna see how that is. And with Gen 10, originally it was said that Gen 10 would take place in a region that resembles Greece.
Okay.
But that came out as false.
Oh.
Whatever quote unquote leaker said that was absolutely false. So Gen 10 is not going to be in Greece, but it's going to be based in Southeast Asia. It's going to be a fully open world game, and it's going to be based on the weather, survival, and exploration. I'm excited, and I've seen I've seen Riddler Crew. He's put out some like beta testings of like movements and like what everything's gonna look like. Fam. I'm for it. I need that out now. Like all the things that he's put out and said, this is what Game Freak's doing. Yeah, this, that, and the other. I'm like, this is gonna be the game of the year, not Legends ZA. But no, yeah. So it's gonna be based in Southeast Asia. It's gonna be a fully open world game. Like I said, it's gonna be based on the weather, survival, and exploration.
Do you ever think? Because again,
I do.
Major Sonic fan. Like I go through the same kind of thing with Sonic. Do you ever think that it's better to just stop getting sucked into the hype and just like maybe let it be, and when it comes out, if it's good, it's good. If it's not, it's not. Because what I experienced,
I feel like that's all based on like you as a person.
I guess.
Like if you like for me, like this Gen 10,
sure,
sounds spectacular.
Yeah, but so did ZA. Like, I mean, again, like...
Well, I mean, when it was announced that it's going to be only in a city, I was like, that killed my hype. Just I was like, just in a city? That's it? It's going to be in one city?
Well, wait a minute, but wasn't Legends Arceus, wasn't that just in a village?
No.
Oh.
It was the wild. So, like, you could go into rivers and go through forests and valleys and stuff.
Okay.
So, yeah, no, it was, no.
Okay.
But yeah, so that, when I found out Legends ZA was only going to be in a city, that killed the majority of my hype. I was like, oh.
I get that.
So there's going to be no...
Okay.
That seems kind of stupid.
You know, I can relate to that because when I found out that Sonic Frontiers was only going to be... was a collectathon essentially, and there weren't any real levels. It was just these like digital spaces which were just like short sections ripped from other levels.
Right.
And you were just in basically this forest the whole time. That killed my hype too. So I can understand and relate to that. It's just, I don't know, man. Like I've gone through this so many times as a Sonic fan where it's like, you know, you're hyped for the game, you're on the hype train, you're learning about the stuff, you're listening to people do breakdowns, and and then it comes out and you're like, this isn't really great. But then, then the new thing's coming out, and guys, we have all this news where it's going to be like this and this, and it's like, okay, and then you get on this one, and then it doesnn't pan out, and then it's a cycle that goes over and over, and it's like,
right.
It gets exhausting. It's like it hurts to keep doing this to myself.
So with that, I feel like it's up to you. If you want to put like your hype into it, that's fine. Like that's fine. But like speaking of hype,
I'll tell you what. It's kind of, this is like kind of a weird way to explain it. I feel like, but I feel like it's kind of like it's just. To me, I feel like it's better, for me, I guess I should say, and I'm sure other people can relate to this, to be less invested until, like, wait for results to actually bear out before you get invested. So it's the same thing with, like, maybe you're, like, talking to this girl and you're into her and, you know, you start, like, building her up in your head and everything, but then you start, like, getting closer and, like, either, like...
And you realize...
Well, either, like, you date and, like, it's not what you thought it was going to be,
or you realize it's not what it is,
or, like, you try to date them and they're not into you like that, you know, something like that. But now you've, like, built them up in your head, so, like, you've gotten all hyped up and now it comes crashing down. And then and then you do the same thing for, like, you know, the next person. Or, like, you're looking for, like, you know, a new job. And, it's going to be this,
right.
And then, like, it doesn't live up. And then, like, you know, I don't know. It just, to me, it feels like it's better. It's like what Zendaya's MJ said in... Spider-Man...
expect disappointment, you won't be disappointed.
Something like that, yeah. It's better to, like, temper your expectations. And I know, like, that sounds pessimistic, but I think it
sounds kind of negative.
But I think
I get it.
But I think it's just better... Well, but I think it's better to like, go in with, like, fewer expectations, and then if it's really good... You're surprised, oh my god, this is amazing. And if it's not, you're like, oh, well, you know, I wasn't really expecting it to be that great. You know what I mean?
No.
Like, when we saw the new Superman movie, for example, I went in, I was like, this is probably going to be good. Like, I'm not really thinking too much one way or the other. But
yeah,
and then I was
Superman was great.
I was blown away. I was like, oh my god, this is amazing. It was.
Yeah.
Why do you say it like it was great? Why do you say it like that?
You don't. Dang, I surprised y'all and everything. Y'all remember?
Oh yeah.
Dang, my boy, you have a
okay, yeah.
kind of not a good memory.
No, I just
buddy.
I didn't realize because they're not aware of.
Right.
For context. A few friends of ours.
I'm let you. Yeah.
We were gonna go to see Superman, and Jordan was like, "Oh man, I can't. I'm working that night." All these different like, "Oh, that sucks, bro." Like or we'll see you later, kind of thing, right? And then like we go and we see it and everything, and there were moments that I was like, oh, Jordan would really like this, or or like there was a moment they're fighting this like giant monster, and I was like, oh, he wouldn't like because they like poked its eye or whatever. He'd like be squeamish about that. But like there were things, and then I was like, damn, like I still want him to see this though, right? And then we all come out, and we're just chilling, we're talking about whatever, and like there's this like figure, this like bigger than us figure, just like comes up from the back, and they're like, yeah, it's a really good movie, and I do a double take, I'm like, what the fuck, like. What are you doing here? And he's like, and I thought he like met us there or something after he's like his job got out early or something. He's like, I was, and you explain what you did.
Yeah. So I was just pulling their legs. I was not working that evening.
Yanking our chains.
I was, and I wanted to kind of spice things up a bit. So they're all. We're all talking about like, oh yeah, we're gonna get the tickets. Yeah, we're gonna go see the
he
this
brought
night.
my blindfold and handcuffs.
I did, and yeah, so I decided to play a little game. I was like, guys, I can't. My job is gonna be super super late tonight. I won't be able to make it. And they were like, oh, that's unfortunate, but we'll definitely. I'm like, hey, let me know how it goes. Tell me what happens, because I'll definitely see, for the quote unquote first time. They're like, yeah, okay, cool. And so I waited. And I think you guys were like texting the group chat. Okay, I'm here. I'm at seat 812 or whatever. And I'm reading all of this. I'm like, and I'm waiting until like the kind of conversation dies down in the text. And after like 30 minutes of like waiting, I was like, okay, previews are probably starting. If not, maybe the first half of the movie is starting. Let me go join them. And so I got in my car and I drove to the theater. And I got in line. Got my I think like Reese's Pieces and my my icy, and I went to the theater. And at that time, I was wearing a hat, so I wanted to, channel my inner Clark Kent, my inner disguise. And so so I will say this: walking up the ramp to the in the theater.
Yeah,
I was a little worried because I kind of stopped halfway, and I was like, ooh, what if they're like right there when I walk up? And so finally, I was just like. I had my hat kind of like lowered down below my eyes, and I was like, all right, let's kind of try to see where they are.
Yeah.
I went past the thing into where like the steps in the whole theater's there.
You did a good job.
And like I was just barely peeking out from underneath my hat. And I was scanning the audience. I was like, okay, where are they? I don't want to like walk right into them. And I saw you guys. I did. I saw you guys right in the middle, up on like the fourth row, up top. I'm like, okay, let me see. Is there like an empty seat? There's an empty seat, and I was hoping that wasn't somebody's seat, because like, hey man, get out of my seat, and like commotion. You guys would look over, and you'd be like, hey, he's here. And so I hoped when I sat in that seat, I was like, I hope this isn't somebody's seat. And so like every now and then, I would kind of like look over at you guys from down the aisle, see what you guys are doing. And once the movie ended, by the way, Superman, fantastic movie. I'd watch it again. But so when the movie ended, I started to get up, and I was hoping again that you guys wouldn't walk my way. Like you guys,
were you below us?
No, I was in the same row as you guys.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
Like I was like I could look sideways and I could see you guys.
That's insane.
Yeah, and so again, when the movie ended, I prayed to God that you guys wouldn't walk my way, because then I would have to like, oh, sorry guys, and you'd be like, wait, you bastard! And so thankfully, you guys went the other way.
Yeah, okay.
And then all right, and I kind of nudged my hat down. I'm like, all right, time to go incognito. And so I walked. I was like 2 people behind you guys.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
I was ghosting you guys, and yeah. So I was walking along with the crowd, and I saw you go to the bathroom, and I just kind of stood off in the distance, off to the side, and I waited until you came out, and that's when I walked up to like in between you guys, and I was like, yeah, that movie was that was a really, really, really good movie, guys, don't you think? And like Christian said, he did dump it. He's like, whoa, what the? You're here? I'm like, yeah. And I told them, they're like, oh, you bastard, and I was like, yep, that's it. But yeah, it was that honestly was fun. I actually thoroughly enjoyed that.
Yeah. It was the experience of seeing you. It was crazy. Like, what the? Yeah, we had no idea.
He was like, wow, what'd you say? Like, am I dreaming or something? So you said something along the lines.
I must be dreaming.
That's right. But
the man of my dreams.
That's right. I'll be honest, I have no idea how we got onto this topic of me going incognito mode, channeling my inner Clark Kent.
I don't know, but I do know, and not hashtag not sponsored, but I do know that if you use incognito mode on Google, it's not actually hiding your data. At least not from like they're still collecting your data and selling it and shit. It's hiding your data as far as like, if you don't have the history, you don't have like if you do it at like work or whatever, they're not gonna be able to see. But Google still sees.
Google sees.
That's right.
Google is Brother Eye.
No, that's that's that dystopian Palantir thing. That is fucking terrifying.
Hashtag Lord of the Rings.
Dude, the fact that they named it's this surveillance technology, and the fact that they named it after this like evil, mystical,
medieval
all-seeing eye thing from one of the probably the most famous fantasy franchise ever, like in the world currently, whatever. I don't like. I don't like that.
Of all time,
that's right. I don't like
of all time. It's pretty good. It's a good movie. It's good.
People are saying there's nothing better.
No. That that they named it after.
Yeah. The fact that they named it that it's like you're telling us we're evil, and it's okay. It's I don't know, all this like AI and surveillance technology and stuff just boggles my mind.
It's wild for sure though.
Maybe we'll talk about this more in depth on like a an episode or something. But like I'll just say as far as like AI goes, like I have no issue with people using it to like basically like make fan art and stuff like that or whatever, provided they're not like publishing it or like making money off of it or anything. But I have we watch a lot of these videos of these characters, what they look like in real life.
They were in real life.
Yeah. So I like stuff like that. But and I've gotten to like making some like we both have like different like fictional worlds and characters like through like AI and stuff. Gemini is what we were using. But like I have nothing wrong with things like that. But using it for like commercial things and stuff, I have an issue with. Obviously, there's like the ecological issues and stuff like that. But we're destroying our planet more and more every day anyway. So but I don't know. It's just like there are things that I don't. My main issue is the replacing people part.
Right. That's not okay.
Yeah, and there's actually a thing Bernie Sanders talked about recently where it's not good. It's not, but there's also good news and we have a friend who actually like works in AI, so like it's not.
We can blame him when all.
Well, we can't blame him. No. But like he would disagree with me.
I love you, buddy.
But AI is a bubble, and there are many people that are thinking it's about to pop.
Right.
Which might be good if like this, because I think AI is just gonna like cannibalize itself anyway. Because if it's pulling from AI, and there are like models being trained on other AI, it's like you're just gonna get a feedback loop where there's no like real humans you're even stealing from anymore. It's all just a feedback loop, So, but I don't know. It's whatever. But it is a little scary because basically our economy is kind of being held up by this speculative investment of AI right now. So if it does pop, on one hand, that'll be good because it's like, we're done with this like phase.
Right.
But on the other hand, it's kind of scary because it's like, what's going to happen to the economy? I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. But, I don't know. I think AI has a place and it's a tool that can be used, but I think that the way big companies want to use it is diabolical. One thing I'll say, by the way, like I said, I really do think it will never, for one, it'll never have that human spirit, but also, dude, it fails, the more specific you get with something, the harder it is for it to do. I made one of my, my like Elements superheroes that I made. One of them is a black dude with a soul patch. No mustache, just a soul patch. For some reason, it cannot give him a soul patch. It'll give him a mustache and like a little like thing here, but it will not. And then I'm like, remove the mustache, keep the soul patch. Doesn't do it. I'm like, I keep like downvoting each one and saying
in all caps.
No. Like you can like rate each thing, and I thumbs it down, and I like put didn't follow instructions, and I do that like after each one. And there's another one where like I put characters together and try to put them together, and I'm like, okay, like, and they're like right on top of each other. I'm like, okay, space them out a bit. It's not doing it. Okay, move this one to the left and this one to the right. It's not understanding that. I'm like, you piece of shit.
AI.
How are you not like
AI?
I'm like, because if this was a real person, this was an artist taking instructions. Because like I had a friend that I was talking to where he was like, I am an artist. AI is my brush. I'm like, you're not an artist. You're a director. The AI is the artist in this case. You are a director telling it what to do. That's what you are. You're the boss. You're the director. You are not an artist. You're not creating. You're telling something to create for you. The thing is, if it was a real person and I told them, hey, remove that mustache and put it, or just, hey, just design them like this, gave them these notes, they would fucking do it, because they know what that means. A fucking robot does not know what the fuck I'm talking about. And
he's very adamant about this, folks.
Hey, you're very adamant about the Pokemon thing, I'm very adamant about this. It's...
Well, see, that's a video game. This is like...
Real life.
Real life.
Yeah, oh yeah, so even more reason to be like fucking aggro about this shit.
Anyway, but to end episode 5 of the Let Me Tell You Something podcast.
It's on 2.5 hours now so far, by the way. I love it.
And I'm only, going to go on this, for a brief time. Game Freak and all of its partners are creating, and this most likely will be out in like 2030, 2031.
Jesus.
There and okay, so a little context. For the longest time, you could go to any Pokemon regular fan, mega fan, super fan, whatever. You could go to anyone who loves Pokemon, and you can ask
like
them,
me.
Exactly. You can ask.
I fucking love Pokemon.
You can ask them this question: what is it that you wish Pokemon Company, Game Freak, all of them? What do you wish they would make for everyone?
What does that mean?
Like what kind? What type of game? Like what Pokemon game?
Oh, I actually have an answer for this.
What?
So I would say either those like the battle arena games, like
Pokemon Stadium,
or Pokken Tekken tournament.
Pokemon tournament.
Or you play as adult characters that you get to design and dress and everything how you want.
Okay.
And you have non-turn-based combat. And sure, you can have the exploration. Kind of like we were talking about the exploration.
Right.
But you also have the waypoints.
Right.
So if you want to be able to just get on with it, you can do that. But if you want to explore, you can do that as well. That is what I would... and you know what? I'll even say, like, not... Like, you can make yourself a kid. You can make yourself whatever you want. Kid, adult, young, old person, whatever... I just can't make yourself like a fetus. Like fetus can't be like, but a little sperm. So.
Jeez.
No, but yeah, no, you just, or where you can play as the Pokemon themselves and like, you know what I would like to see actually? I'll tell you what I'd like to see. Like what I'd really.
a
I like
Pokemon
the sort of
survival
Pokemon-
game where you try
No.
you try to not get captured by humans. You try to live out your Pokemon life in the wild,
Yeah.
and like every now and then a human will try to come along and capture you and battle you, and you have to like escape.
Yeah, so like the reverse of Power, or what PETA's Pokemon Black and Blue was, which is we won't get into that. Although you do want to talk about fan games at some point, so we can talk about that, and I can talk about Sonic fan games.
Man, I'm telling you, man, Game Freak. Mm-hmm. You're probably not listening to this, Game Freak, but if you are a Game Freak, just employ your fans, because they know what they're doing, and they know what the rest of us want. So employ them, please, and thank you.
I think the whole hire fans thing is a bit like blown out of proportion.
Because I've seen some I've seen designs and storylines, all these different things from fans, like mega fans. Oh, freaking shot out of the park, dude! I'm like, yes.
I remember though,
this would be fantastic.
So I will say the whole hire fans thing's a bit like dubious, because sometimes like that is really good. Like for example, again with Sonic. They hired Ian Flynn, who was a fan of the Sonic comics, to write the comics, who did a really good job. Despite how fans feel about him now, he's great, so fuck off. And don't fucking harass him on Twitter or other... Don't harass anybody, you fucking freaks. And then there was also... what was it? Christian Whitehead from with Headcanon. They made... they originally made... like Sonic before and after the sequel and stuff like that, but they were hired with Sonic Team and they made Sonic Mania. So like there are instances of like fans being hired and actually doing really well, but there are also times where you don't want to hire fans. Like a lot of times, Steve Shives did a good video on, but this is more in regards to writing, mind you. But he did a good video on like why like the whole hire fans thing is like not normally a good idea. But what I wanted to say, a Pokemon thing, and this would I think completely go against what Pokemon is, but where you transform into the Pokemon and then you play as them running around.
That'd be interesting.
Doing the fucking shit.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
So going back to the asking any Pokemon fan. Whether it be regular fans, super fan, any the real diehards.
What are fans actually saying?
Fans, for the longest time, have always wanted a game where like the classic, you can pick, you can design your character, you can do all these things, and embark on your journey, but a game where you. And this would be a massive, the amount of years and the amount of time, quality, just the amount of years they would do if they ever did do this, which they kind of are, but then they're kind of not. Anyways, this kind of game would take years. I'm talking
Do you know what edging is?
No.
So edging is when you're either jerking it or you're being and they right when you're about to right when you're about to come stop. And it does help build up stamina and stuff. But the main thing is that it's crazy because that you keep going, okay, we're gonna get to it's gonna happen, and then it doesn't happen, and then deny you, or you deny yourself, whatever. It's also referred to as orgasm denial and stuff. My point is, that's what you're doing with this. You are edging me with this Pokemon thing. What is it? It's gonna take years. It's gonna be expensive. It's
that's what I'm getting to.
You're edging me.
That's what I'm getting to.
Okay.
Where you go through all of the regions.
Okay.
And you go through the gyms, and it's fully immersive open world. There's in-game playing or whatever you said, real time play or whatever. And then you get to the Pokemon League, you either defeat the league and you become the champion of that region, which, and this would be like a choice. You defeat them, you become the champion of that region, and like that's fine, you can stay in that region, and that goes the same way if you lose, and then you travel through each region, like creating your Pokemon teams throughout the regions. Just this massive open, just this beautiful game where you can go through all the regions and just create your ultimate team and just do all of these. You can explore literally the world, not just a region, but you can explore the world. You can you have all the gimmicks, Dynamaxing, Mega Evolution, a stupid Gigantamax, all these other like battle gimmicks that they've introduced in the Pokemon games. Just a massive, exploration game where you just do all these things.
Does it have the weird like crystal evolution thing?
Crystal evolution? Oh, it's not really an evolution thing. It's more of like it changes the typing, which is. Or like it gains an additional typing. Okay. So like a Pokemon like Charizard, overly hyped Pokemon, no one really likes Charizard. Literally, it's insane how
wasn't
much
he going to be the mascot originally?
So little fun fact, and Pokemon fans, you know this. The original mascot before they ever decided on Pikachu was going to be a Clefable.
What is that?
It is a stupid Pokemon. Huh?
Is that the thing with the eggs?
No, it is. It's the little fairy imp creature with like a bow tie on its back. That was gonna be Ash's like partner Pokemon. But thank God.
Oh, this thing.
Yeah, that thing. Yeah.
Okay.
But thankfully they went with Pikachu. And then.
Oh, I was thinking of Chansey.
Oh, Chansey.
What does this thing even do?
What, Clefable?
Yeah.
It's a fairy Pokemon.
That
it has fairy moves.
What is that? What is it like? Okay, what does it do? Like, does it fly? Does it?
It floats.
Shoot magic? Does it like?
It does a lot of things.
Okay.
Like it floats. It has all these moves. Anyways.
Anyway, I'm glad it's not this.
Yeah. No, me too. That would have been stupid. A poor decision on their part. But they went with Pikachu.
But so Charizard is like the second kind of like main.
Yeah. So once they decided, okay, this creature called Pikachu is going to be the mascot of Pokemon. Clefairy got just thrown aside like a piece of trash.
As it should.
That's mean to the Pokemon.
Hey, you know how I feel about Psyduck.
Listen, Psyduck, if you treat him with love and treat her with love and respect. And you train it up, it can become a gold duck, and it can be amazing. But no, and plus you can just give me Psyduck. I'll train him up. Anyways, but yeah. So when they went with Pikachu, they threw away Clefable. They're like, okay, this one isn't going to be the mascot, yada yada. But if Pikachu
is it still like a brain dead moron in its evolutions?
No.
Okay, then that'd be better. It like gets headaches all the time, and it's just fucking like
that's Psyduck.
An annoying little.
But when it evolves into Golduck, it's different.
Okay, well then you can talk to me.
Jeez, wow. That's all you want.
I'll take a Golduck after it's evolved, but not a fucking Psyduck. Like once it's evolved into Golduck, but not.
No. But yeah. So if not Pikachu, Charizard is considered the second mascot. But yeah, Charizard is so... And again, Pokemon fans, you know this. Well, you know what I mean. Charizard is too overhyped. He has way too many forms. He has way too many other evolutions. It's crazy. It's absolutely insane.
Well, I think for one, because it's a dragon, which is just so like inherently cool. But also...
You think...
What do you mean you think?
He's not a dragon. He is not labeled as... You may think he's a dragon. Like, he has a dragon form.
What is he?
But he's not a dragon.
He's not a... What is he then?
He's just a fire... He's just a fire type Pokemon.
He's a... Oh, okay,
but... His actual form is a dragon.
Okay.
But they don't recognize
it. Okay, but what I mean is like... So Pikachu is like a mouse kind of thing that's electric type.
Yes.
So I would say Charizard is a dragon that's fire type.
Yeah.
Okay.
No. And I actually realized that they, people are like, oh, Charizard should be a Dragon type, right? Charmander, all these other things.
I think they made him Fire type just because they didn't create Dragon type yet.
Well, so with that, they thought Dragon type would be too overpowering than Water and Grass type.
Well, okay, it kind of fits him though if he's so overhyped and shit.
But I mean, again, Charizard's cool.
I like playing with Smash.
In game, terrible. Like the first 2 or 3 gyms, terrible. And we're getting to real specifics. But yeah, so going back to the RPG game.
MMORPG.
So they're making it into like an MMORPG game. You don't like that?
No, I don't care. Do you know what? That's like World of Warcraft and stuff.
Is it?
Yeah.
Well, they're making it into where it's...
I rolled my eyes when he said it. That's another thing. MMORPGs killed the hype for me. I'm very picky and specific about the kind of games I like actually playing. I might watch other people play like an MMORPG, but like League of Legends, for example, I don't. And granted, that's a MOBA, but still. But yes, MMORPGs are yeah. I mean, is WoW the only existing MMORPG now? No, there are others, I think. There are others. Oh, DC Universe Online, that's an MMORPG. There's a few MMORPGs that I tried playing because you could make really hot chicks.
Right.
But I didn't like playing them.
Right.
I was like, okay, it's
so the only RPG, whatever it is, that's going to be kind of introduced is like you will be able to play with other people, but it'll be your journey,
Black Desert
journey alone. So like you'll be able to go, and like I said, it is kind of like what every Pokemon fan wants in like the final Pokemon game, but it's not. It's only going across 4 regions. Which, again, like I said, it is like what everyone has been wanting for years and years, but it's not all the regions, but it's better than nothing. But, again, I've looked at some of the video leaks and the figure renditioning.
Oh, renders.
Dude, it looks phenomenal, bro. Yeah, so that's probably the icing on the cake that I'm most excited about. The cherry on top, as you may say. But yeah, it's just Pokemon seems to be making a big comeback in the quality of games, or in the quality of their games. Because it actually has been said, I think the president of the Pokemon company, he's also said like we don't want to just keep on busting out game after game after game. We want to take our time with it.
Satoru Iwata or something?
I think so. Yeah, he said we want to take our time with these games going forward in the future. We want to make them to where like you can play them, you can play them and still enjoy them like 30 years after they've come out.
People are already doing that with the old Pokemon games.
Yeah, but it's like pixel. Yeah, it's the older Pokemon games are fun, but yeah. So those are the rumors. Well, the only non-rumor is the title of the official Generation 10 games. And
it's not a working title. It's actually going to be called Win and Wave.
Nope. It's going to be like I said, it's going to be based in Southeast Asia instead of Greece. And almost every Pokemon you can fly on or ride on.
That's cool.
Whether it be again, like if I'm pretty sure they're going to kind of keep the same formula. Like if you choose Pokemon Wins, like your main mode of transportation will be a flying Pokemon.
Sure. Yeah, makes sense.
Or like you can fly on your own Pokemon. And they're like the same thing, waves. But I don't know, they may, like let's say you decide to get Pokemon Waves, right? You can either like travel on sea or travel through air. And I think like another like little small leak is like you'll be doing underwater battles, like deep in the ocean's depth. So that's kind of scary because outer space and the ocean are just as equally scary to me.
We know more about our space than we do our ocean.
Yeah.
Well, I just hope that if you choose a water type Pokemon, you can choose Vaporeon because of course. In terms of
we already know
breeding, Vaporeon is the most competitive.
All right, yeah, we're not getting into that nastiness. It's an animal, people, you sick bastards. Anyways, actually, like you said, if you choose the water starter, your story. Like, sure, it's gonna like you're gonna be playing with like other people throughout this massive open world region, but it's also gonna be like your own game. Like it's multiplayer and it's single player. With whatever starter you choose, your story, like your journey, is gonna be completely different.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Do you know who the starters are?
It has been said again. Rumor. The starters is a fire snake, a grass bird, and a water elephant.
I'm sure you'll love the fire snake.
I think if these are true, which they maybe, who knows, but if they are true, I think I'm going to choose the water elephant.
Of course, elephants are your favorite animal, right?
One of my favorite. I love elephants.
Out of those, we'll probably choose a bird.
Yeah. Okay.
Which is funny because if you remember when we played Scarlet for 30 minutes that I did. I chose
Sprigatito. No.
I forget what the other. Oh, it was like that fire duck. I want to say.
There's Sprigatito. Quaxley.
Yeah.
And then, oh man, I forgot the fire crocodile's name. Fuecoco.
Right.
Fuecoco.
Why all the Spanish names?
Because it's based off of.
Oh, it's in Spain.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay. That's cool.
Yeah. And but yeah, so those are the hates, the positive, the negatives, the positives. About
the ups and downs and all around.
The Pokemon Legends ZA and the rumors about Gen 10 and onward.
You could say they're the
kind of excited.
The all-time highs and the all-time lows.
That's right. Yeah, that's about it from me.
All right.
And it's funny, I said I'd condense these rumors and all that stuff into a shorter thing, but
I think each episode is just going to be longer than the last.
Oh gosh.
So stay tuned for.
Yeah, I think we need to set 10, a time. we need to set a legitimate time, like whatever, like an hour and 30 minutes or whatever.
I mean, listen, we finish when we finish,
Because listen, I'll be frank.
I thought your name was Jordan.
I'll be frank. I've had to take a leak for 35 minutes now.
I'm hungry. That's why I got this.
I've had to take a leak for 35, maybe 40 minutes now, and I've been holding it in. So,
I mean, we can always pause anyway.
Yeah.
But regardless,
regardless.
No, that is. I was. My joke that I was going to say though is stay tuned for episode 10 when it's just like an all day.
Jeez. Bring the snacks, bucko.
But the good thing is, we can pause when we're recording, but also they can pause when they're listening. So
that's right.
Anyway, yeah. So that's we've hit everything. We're all right. So with that, we're gonna wrap everything up. As always, guys, this is what we have to say about all these things. Very curious if you guys, listen to or are interested in listening to either the record that I talked about by All Time Low, or any of their other music, or other bands that are similar, or just other bands, any music that's coming out that you're interested in. Very curious as to anything on that. Curious as to your thoughts on the Pokemon thing.
That's right.
All those different things. And yeah, just any of the topics we talked about and covered. There was a lot, so if anything you guys are, if you again
take your pick of the litter.
Yeah, again, if you have anything you want us to discuss in the future, let us know in the comments below.
That's right.
But otherwise, that should be everything. So I think you have a little sign off that you've been doing.
I do. Be kind to one another, and stay fresh, Pookie. Stay fresh.